Great side question for you to get your name into the hat today. And again, I would say almost every day of the year here at Talk Radio 1210, we do our best, the Mannion Foundation, just as one example, to remember, to salute, and to support. But this afternoon, if you'd like to call in on any of that, absolutely, this is the day to do it. But it's also a day to take stock at how corrupt and just fraudulent and out of control big-time sports are. I say that because a guy, Jackson Dart, starting quarterback for the New York Giants, is making well, first of all, you might have lost it in the holiday weekend, but we had another now. I think it's the third time within a month in which shots have been fired near President Trump. Third time in a month. This maniac who stormed a White House guard post, who was known to Secret Service and others. What was he doing out after two incidents before? He approaches them, drops, gets a gun out of his bag, and starts firing. Was he firing at Trump? Who knows? But you got to believe it is insane what's going on. So I say that as a backdrop to these stinking pro athletes that are out there. Not all of them, but many of them. I'm going to play you Jackson Dart, starting quarterback for the New York Giants. And all he did was introduce President Trump at an event, a speech in New York. And we have just some of it even here locally. On Twitter, that is stunning. Quite a feud going on. I can't say on that one yet, but it's amazing. All because this guy. Now, look, Stephen A. Smith, I've debated actually on NBA basketball on the Lou Tilley show. And Stephen A. Smith's knowledgeable on some things, but this guy just showed his true colors. I'm watching ESPN to see how they're going to cover this, how they say that Jackson Dart, should have known this would be controversial. And as a quarterback, his responsibility to assure his teammates. Why? If this were introducing President Obama, well, you can't say anything about that's different. It's the President of the United States. All he did was introduce him. But Stephen A. Smith, talking about the fact that New York elected Mondani. Should Jason Dart not be thinking about that? New York elected Mondani, who's the polar opposite of President Trump. And this guy is wanting to run for president. He also brought up the fact that Dart played at the University of Mississippi. He's from Mississippi. Oh, man, Mississippi. And how Lane Kiffin had to leave Mississippi. He couldn't recruit there. Probably one of the most unscrupulous guys in the history of sports, and that's saying something, is Lane Kiffin leaves and then claims they're racist, essentially, at University of Mississippi. He couldn't recruit there as he went off into the night. So let's start off. Here is Jackson Dart. This will be cut 11. Here's what he said in introducing President Trump.
Please welcome starting quarterback of the New York Giants, Jackson Dart.
What's up? Yeah. Big Blue Nation, it's a pleasure to be here. I got to start this off with a Go Big Blue. I'd love it if y'all would follow with me. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. What an honor, what a privilege it is to be here. And without further ado, I'm grateful, I'm honored, I'm pleasured to introduce the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump.
And yet we have this guy, Abdul Carter, who was allowed to get away with his nonsense at Penn State, which is always a suspect program in my mind. So Abdul Carter on Twitter, little profanity, so I can't give you that, but he talked about, I thought this was AI. Our quarterback introducing this guy, introducing Donald Trump. Now, this is a community, if you will, pro sports, where routinely we see men who are criminals, who have committed crimes one way or the other, attacking women, We have, according to all news reports, a guy who plays for the Eagles just arrested going 137 miles an hour in his 70-mile zone. These don't jump out. The only thing people talk about is, oh, is that going to hurt the team? But this guy introducing President Trump, oh, man, why did he not think about this? Here is Emmanuel Achuo. I don't think that's the same guy that played for the Eagles. He played in the NFL. He is on either Fox Sports or ESPN, doesn't matter. And he says, this will be cut 12, it's time to have an uncomfortable conversation about Jackson Dart supporting Donald Trump. Cut 12.
All right, it's time to have an uncomfortable conversation about what the hell is going on in New York. Jackson Dart, the quarterback, supporting President Donald Trump? He's allowed to do that. He's a citizen. He's allowed to have a freedom of thought. Abdul Carter, first-round pick, his teammate calling him out. He's allowed to do that. If Jackson Dart's allowed to support Donald Trump, then his teammate is allowed to support his grievances with him doing that. Here is my issue. Jackson Dart, you know how several of your brothers, your teammates, your friends, your ride or dies, how they might feel about this individual. So I don't think there's a lot of wisdom or discernment in very publicly supporting an individual who many of your teammates feel offended by. So yes, Jackson Dart, you're allowed to do whatever the hell you want. But I don't know that it's a super wise decision without necessarily consulting in some of your teammates. Abdul Carter, you're allowed to express your frustrations with it. I don't think it's super wise to do it publicly because now you got 36 million people looking at a tweet of Abdul Carter, you calling out your boy. Keep in mind, y'all are both supposed to be the future of the New York Giants. One a first-round quarterback, one a first-round edge rusher. Y'all both supposed to be the face of the franchise. So with that being said, Jackson Dart, I don't personally have an issue with him supporting Donald Trump. He's a human. He can support who he wants to support. Was it pretty stupid given the reaction it will cause to his other brothers that are humans and have human emotions? Absolutely. I don't think it was wise. I don't got an issue with it. Abdul Carter, I don't have an issue with it either. Was it also unintelligent? Yes, because now you caused a distraction and the organization ain't won no games in a long time. But they're men. They can do what they want. It's going to be something to watch, though.
All righty, 855-839-1210. So here's how America reacted after that happened. Within one day, 277,000 in the NFL shop jerseys of Jackson Dart were sold. An all-time one-day record, 277,000. Now, this guy is a decent quarterback, but if he keeps on doing what he's doing, he's going to continue to get hurt. I mean, that's the way it is in the NFL. He's putting himself at risk constantly, and it may be flashy for a while, but it ends up not so well. And otherwise, you know, he can drive a team. I wouldn't say he's overwhelming. But the bottom line is, look at this. Would this happen with any other pro? Of course it would not. Clearance with Abdul Carter, et cetera here. Because, well, we all know at Trump, you'd have to go and clear this. Now, the coach, Harbaugh, has been publicly supportive of President Trump. So has the owner, the family of the Giants. And you heard the introduction. This isn't a gushing by-the-line policies of Trump and get illegals out of the country and all that. It's merely an introduction of the President of the United States. And on Twitter, morons saying, well, you guys attack Kaepernick. We need not go into the differences here, do we? Just take a look at this. Okay. But this is a perfect example of what's going on here. So is it strange that shots have been fired 3 times in under a month, or right around a month at least, in the vicinity of President Trump? No, it is not. My big concern over the weekend, and we'll get into that here on the Dom Show as we develop, I thought Trump was sliding towards some kind of deal with the Iranians, and I was all prepared. Look, I'm going to look at this deal. I'm not going to come on and genuflect just because it's Trump, but his better instincts took hold of him, and he backed away from it because I don't think the Iranians are offering much of anything here. It's more we got to get out of this and get to the midterms and stop all the Cuba talk while we're at it. So 855-839-1210. Here's the side question today. To me, Memorial Day is one of the ultimate combo days, maybe more so than other holidays. It's a day of remembrance, and it's also a day where people get together, kick off summer, starting on Friday, cook out, people over. You're going someplace. We're going over to DJ's today after the show. It's that kind of combination, and I think that's fine. You know, I think by and large, people that listen to this station, certainly listening now, they remember. They support the Travis Manion Foundation. I mean, by any metric that you want, we do remember. We do salute. But they also have time for family and friends on this day. And that's, it's a duo. It's a combo. So I'm looking for all-time duos or combos today. And again, it's all in the call. You just can't blurt something out, then go off into Memorial Day. Develop it. Get your name into the hat. We'll have a big prize at the end of the week. So the obvious combo, peanut butter and jelly. Individuals, Adam and Eve. You can have a fictional one. There's a lot of great fictional ones. Develop it, though. The all-time combo, be it a food, be it products, be it something coming together that make each other better, or a duo of individuals on this day, which I maintain every year when I'm on, is a day of duality, a day where we see both of these things at play. All right, Kirk, what do you have today? Anything?
So I'm going to go with two. They're fictional. I'm going to go with Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street.
Yep, all time.
And also the acclaimed classic TV show Batman and Robin. None of the cartoonish stuff from the movies, right. But I'm going to go with Batman and Robin on that fictional.
All right, and who else is there today?
Jared
Brad?
is here today.
Who is?
Jared.
What's up, Tom?
Jared,
How you doing?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Jared. Hi, Jared. First time I think we've had you on deck for the side question. Good to have you. Nice work the other day at Farley. What do you have, Jared?
I'm going to go caffeine, like coffee, and sweets. Can't beat coffee and sweets. Wake up early, get a nice cup of coffee, get some tasty cakes, and you're good to go.
All righty. That is the American Breakfast of Champions. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 855-839-1210. Jump in early. Don't let someone take all the good ones. And your reaction, and I'll give you more throughout the show, and I think this will develop during the week here in Philadelphia. I'm not going to intrude on it, but quite a feud going on here by two sports figures. I'll just say that on Twitter. It's nuts around this Jason Dart thing that is, or Jackson Dart. This is propelled just for introducing imagine Stephen A. Smith. Well, he should think Mondani's the mayor. You'll be offending people. Are we serious? How about when Jalen Hurts could not go to the White House? How many times do we have to go through this? How many times do we have to talk about it's not the person, it's the office? Now, he did introduce him. He was honored to do it. But this wasn't like him talking immigration policy or anything of that nature. This was just straight up major figure. I thought it was even lamer with the Go Big Blue. The crowd didn't exactly want to go Big Blue there. Big Blue doesn't go too far. My God. All right, 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, just push pound 1210. Be the first one in with Dom, Kirk, here on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Here's the big announcement. Coming up next Thursday, May 28th at the New Jersey FOP Lodge 56 in West Berlin, we will be live from 6 to 11, and we will have a special guest. Sean Farish is coming on up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a good old time.
Yes.
Yes.
Sean will join us live and in person next Thursday at FOP Lodge 56. Go get tickets right now. 1210WPHT.com. They're free. Again,
They're free.
Start your day with Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win. Like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Hey, it's Mike Quick. It's time to cut your old point-of-sale systems and revolutionize your business with PDQ POS. Joe Flynn and his team at PDQ have been the industry leaders for over 35 years. They offer everything from mobile POS to self-serve kiosks and the best service and support in the industry. For the fastest, easiest, and most reliable POS available, trust PDQ POS. No matter how many locations you have, they'll build a custom solution for your business. Visit PDQPOS.com.
Tune in to the Crash Proof Retirement Show Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Joanne Small-Canella and Tracy Stillman. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
See Joe Conklin at Parks Casino with the City Rhythm Orchestra Thursday, June 18th in a Salute to Summer concert. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
JoeConklin.com! Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
This is it. It's the big Memorial Day sale now through Monday at TurnersvilleJeep.com. Save big this weekend on a huge selection of over 300 Jeeps and Ram trucks. Don't have a down payment? No problem. We work with dozens of banks who offer 0 down payments and no payments for 90 days. To qualified buyers. Don't miss the huge Memorial Day week sale. Today through Monday at TurnersvilleJeep.com. Just minutes from all bridges. Or online 24/7 at TurnersvilleJeep.com. Jeep.com.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. Happy Memorial Day. I said, an awkward phrase because it's a day of remembrance. So happy, but, good Memorial Day. Baby is the way to go. Side question today, because I see this as a combo day of remembrance and then having fun, getting together, family cookout. Start of summer, even though, boy, this is a particularly miserable sequence of days. My goodness. All right, 855-839-1210, you get in. So hit us with that. You heard what we have here so far. Hit us with one of those. Can be real, can be fictional, outside the box. It's all in the call. And Jackson Dart. It still continues to simmer. This idea that introducing Trump is going to drive the lock, and vaguely we hear the stirrings of racism. Oh, stop it already. Just stop the fraudulent nonsense that goes into us. In other words, this is a worse crime in the mind of these morons than some of the real crimes that pro football, pro basketball players commit. It seems almost routinely there's somebody out there in the news every day doing something of this nature. That's okay. But this is the ultimate sin. Who should he have cleared it with? Abdul Carter, who, according to a New York Post report, as a number 3 first-round pick, he was third pick in the entire draft, had trouble staying awake in team meetings and walkthroughs and things of that nature. Oh, that's okay. But that Jason Dart, he should have known how divisive this would be. And Stephen A. Smith, well, big insight. Mondani is the mayor of New York. Wow. So Jason Dart, by going with the president of the United States against a communist, made a mistake. So what if one of these guys introduces the mayor? Would I like that? Yeah, they can do whatever they want on their home time. The problem with Kaepernick was this was in the office during the game. And by the way, for the record with Kaepernick, I don't think it was ever meant necessarily to be negative toward veterans. Okay? No. I'm getting the record straight. It's very clear. It's cop hatred. He hates the cops. People that did this hate the cops. And that's what it's always been about, their hatred of the cops. So let's be clear. Yes, it is disrespectful to everybody there. They have to deal with this. and to veterans, but it's mainly cop hatred. All right, get in on the side, 855-839-1210. Now, here is Stephen Curry. Little flashback. This is cut 8, and everybody thought this was okay. His thanks to the great Presidente Biden, who let out one of the world's most vicious arms dealers. God knows what this guy's up to and doing now. In order to get out of jail, Brittany Griner, cut 8.
To have this opportunity to reflect on the accomplishment last year, to bring everybody together to celebrate that, to also acknowledge the place sports has and bringing people together from all walks of life, all backgrounds, to provide inspiration, hope, love, togetherness, and that's what our journey was last year. So to have another opportunity to celebrate that means a lot, and a great opportunity for us from the basketball community to thank President Biden and his staff for all their hard work and diligence on getting Brittany Griner home. Was a big part of our basketball family, and it means a lot to know that she's here and home safe with her family, and all the work that went on behind the scenes to make that a reality. So I just want to say thank you there, and very excited to be here and celebrate the day, celebrate with our families, and appreciate the invitation. This is truly, truly special, so thank you to everybody.
All right, I have no problem with him thanking Biden on this misguided attempt, someone who knows what their drug laws are and yet goes there and is engaged in that. And then we have to get one of the world's worst arm dealers out of our prison to make a swap for her. And the fact we have other people, in my view, that are worthier of a swap and getting them out of there than Brittany Griner was. But okay, he thanked Biden for that. Did he have to check with the locker room? No, he did not, because it wasn't Trump. If he were thanking Trump or Jackson Dart were thanking Trump, then I guess he would have to check with the so-called locker room here. This whole incident is just a freeze frame. This is the mentality too often in pro sports. It is out of control, up and down the line. And it gets more that way every day. Now, there are some, Schwarber, the good work he does behind the scenes, the carnival he had the other night, first responders, things of that nature, is very admirable. And there are any number of guys who are just normal citizens, etc. But percentage-wise, way out of proportion are the number that are criminals or commit criminal actions. Domestic violence, rape, assaulting police officers, up and down the line. And that seems to be the only consideration is, well, how will that affect the team? How are we going to deal with that when it comes to the team? That's about it. All righty, 855-839-1210. Hit us on this side question. By the way, Memorial Day, in addition to everything else, in addition to the big picture, takes on additional intent for me, because last year, as I remember it, right in the middle of the show, we got the first call that I know of, anyhow, from Zenos. It was on Memorial Day. And Zenos has developed in this 1 year into just one of the most entertaining, interesting callers in all of the Talk Radio 1210 universe.
Oh, you're not wrong about that. He is a gem.
Yeah, exactly. And Henry and I are talking about, and we may unroll it soon, talking about, we'll unveil before the great day at Mulligan's, Dom Giordano Day, June 19th. Put it on your calendar, Mulligan's, over there on Hildreth in Wildwood. Kind of an all-star team. I don't know if we field 9 positions or not, but there are at least 20 or so that call regularly and are spectacular.
Yeah, I'm including JB and also including Pete because.
Oh yeah, yeah. Recent. There's a couple of recent.
Yeah,
guys.
that's true.
This
right.
guy Pete from Southwest and this JB guy have just been amazing. They kind of summarize the whole show or the whole idea of the side question by what they do. And Kirk, you hear it off air. Yeah, they audition before you, and then we put them on air.
And sometimes, truth be told, a little behind the scenes, I don't mention what they're going to say. Because I'll put a side question up and I will put a little comment about what's going on during a topic, what have you, what we're discussing. Sometimes they'll tell me, and I basically like, okay, I'm not going to say anything, and it's pure, and I bust out laughing along with everybody else.
It's gold, Jerry, gold. Absolutely, absolutely. And Kirk has become a permanent addition there too, fielding your calls and then filling in when Henry's out.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great time, by the way, on Friday at Farley, and just great stuff. And if you missed it, I'll give you a little bit of the breakdown. Linda Kearns is such a treasure to us. Friday's a semi-holiday, and she contacts Henry. Could she come on right in the middle of it? Yes, and it was like a presidential writ. Linda Kearns gets to come on because of this letter she wrote to Al Schmidt. And I went back and I pulled some more stuff on it. It involves the election, the most recent primary in Moscow, Pennsylvania. Yes, there is a Moscow, Pennsylvania in Lackawanna County, Scranton country, Joe Biden country. And this judge of elections was elected overwhelmingly, a Republican, I think 400 and some votes versus like 70. And yet this Democrat judge, because of a complaint of some sort, sent the cops over and snatched out this judge of elections in the middle of the election. And Linda Kearns, citing all kinds of statutes and cases, et cetera, to Al Schmidt, the Secretary of State, this is all illegal. You can't have a judge without a court hearing with someone duly elected snatch him out. So I went back, and this person, Ripley, who we're trying to get on the show, the judge of elections, is a bit of a gadfly. In other words, this is somebody who is MAGA, has made a number of good points, did the right thing, ran for office and won, apparently doesn't like the election integrity as it now stands. Well, a lot of people don't. They don't think it's a 10. Somebody makes a complaint, and instead of a hearing on this, the judge just willy-nilly sends in the gendarmes. And that's what Linda Kearns, even on that day, was working on, heard about, and sent this off to Al Schmidt. So I'm proud that this show, even, look, it's a day where it's a getaway day for people. They're not paying as much attention. We are. And Kearns is at the desk, it seems, around the clock. If you remember in 2024, when somebody tipped us off that on SEPTA billboards, at the bus stop, somebody, some artiste, and he admitted it later and didn't do any jail time, put up these photos, giant or paintings of Kamala Harris in an Eagles uniform. The supposition there. Linda Kearns working at the desk. Bang, we're all in it together. It was on a Labor Day, I think. Something like that. So we are buttoned up to bring you within human demands and beyond. And Linda Kearns, Scott Presler, they're two of the keepers. Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Offense. Or the offensive coordinator. 855-839-1210. Coming up, you hear wonderful numbers for Stephen Colbert in that last show. He did much better than he usually does. But I'll put him into context. What did the finale of Letterman generate? And what did the finale of Johnny Carson generate? 855-839-1210. Hit us all-time combo, duo, real or fictional. That's what we're looking for. 855-839-1210.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. and get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
You know what I don't like? Paying for something twice. I can't stand that. Hey, it's Rich Zioli. That's why when it comes to your roof, siding, doors, and windows, there's only one call you should make, and that's to my guys at Emmons Roofing and Siding. Emmons is a platinum Owens Corning contractor, which means that Owens Corning backs not just the shingles, but the workmanship as well for life. That's right, for life. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, residential or commercial, done right the first time, every time. Go to emmonsroofing.com.
Searching for a new path to wellness? Dr. Molly Fantasia explains how medical hydration therapy can help you reclaim your energy. Listen to Health Watch, Sunday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Host. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethost.com/terms.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and the world's #1 expandable hose has gone ballistic. The brand new Pocket Hose Ballistic is here, and it's the hose I reach for every time. This brand new anti-burst sleeve uses an extraordinary new liquid crystal polymer used in bulletproof vests, tough enough to handle anything your outdoor tasks throw its way. And that's not all. The Pocket Hose Ballistic comes with even more upgrades like thicker washers that resist leaks and an enhanced UV coating so your hose looks brand new year after year. What could be better than that? How about not one, but 2 free gifts with your purchase? For a limited time, when you purchase a new Pocket Hose Ballistic, you'll get a free 360-degree rotating pocket pivot and a free thumb drive nozzle. Just text SUMMER to 64,000. That's SUMMER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. That's SUMMER to 64,000.
Weather sponsored by the Piazza Auto Group. Explore the most desirable luxury SUVs with the Range Rover, Discovery, and Defender models. For a limited time, get financing as low as 2.9% for up to 60 months on the capable Defender. Visit Land Rover Westchester, Willow Grove, or Wilmington to learn more.
At least we get a little warmer today for Memorial Day. It gets up to 73. The morning rain should leave, just clouds later. We'll get warmer tomorrow. It'll get up to 80 with some high clouds. More sun and high clouds on Wednesday with a high of 79.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in, 855-839-1210. You get in here on Memorial Day. Let's go to David, Lexington, South Carolina. Hey, David, welcome.
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon.
Afternoon, Dave.
Well, first, I don't know if you saw what I tweeted over the weekend, but I told you last week that a week before that I gave it 0% chance of getting rid of Jim Clyburn.
Yes.
But long story short, and the way this is relevant because it's Jim Clyburn. If this was some other person, I wouldn't really bring this kind of stuff up with you, but Jim Clyburn is a big one out there. So they've had 2 readings for the South Carolina Senate. They're supposed to have a third one, I think, tomorrow. And if that goes well, it will be on Henry McMaster's desk on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it's happening, which is shocking to me beyond belief. Arguably, This is the biggest Democrat in some way, at least in leadership, out there. He's not the speaker, but he is the guy.
He is responsible, Dom. I mean, this is a fact. He is why we had Joe Biden in 2020.
Exactly.
Because, he put him up there and he got through. So, Jim Clyburn is a big one. And the big argument, Dom, I keep hearing here locally is, oh, well, now Mount Pleasant and North Charlie are going to be hooked up with Myrtle Beach, and, you know, we're not supposed to be the same district. Well, that's not why you do things. Somewhere you're going to have areas that are – no district is going to be homogenous, you know. You're never going to have one district that's exactly the same. So they don't really have good arguments against it, but I'm really starting to feel really excited, but I'm kind of fearful too, Dom, because if this does happen, there's going to be trouble here. There really will. If Jim Clyburn is taken out of Congress, there will be trouble, and I'm just glad I'm across the river, but there will be some trouble locally. I really
hear
that.
you. And, David, thank you for reminding us that, because that is one of the biggest that has happened anywhere here. That is a huge figure. If it does happen, it is still surprising. Wow, Jim Clyburn.
Yes.
This is working. What's
this
your
is
side
amazing.
today? What's your combo?
Well, Dom, when you think of any blue city, whether it be St. Louis, Detroit, L.A., the first thing a lot of us think of is crime. So crime and blue cities, they're the perfect match. They go together.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thanks, David. Yeah, well,
you.
The side question's usually the softer side of Sears here, but he's right. I can't think of a blue city, a big blue city, where crime is not a principal thing, that one of the first things you think about. Oh, I forgot. Larry Krasner in Philadelphia says how safe we are. So there is that. We might have more tomorrow, too, on that Larry Krasner trying to take out Bob Brady. And I don't know if I said it on Friday or not, but listen to this, and I haven't heard it anywhere else. I'm telling you first. I don't think I said it on Friday. Philadelphia is both a city and a county. So, for example, if they have detectives with the DA's office, they can get double pensions. Let's say they were in the police department before, then they're with the DA, because it's a county thing. So there's an argument that Krasner is going to explore, that Krasner can run for mayor, in other words, get a free shot at Sherelle Parker politically, and if he loses, still be DA. I told you, 6 weeks ago? I sense it with this guy. He is revved up. He believes he's going to take on the first African-American female mayor of the city of Philadelphia, the first female and the first African-American female, who has, not been spectacular, but has kept the city away from jousting with President Trump constantly. So watch for this. That's my prediction. And if he can get Brady out and control the Democrat Party machinery, then Sherelle Parker is going to have a good deal of trouble. So I'm told the infighting is incredible this Memorial Day weekend. And then what about DA? Well, he'll try to install a puppet there so that he'll be wrecking the city there and wrecking it as mayor. Do I think he can beat Sherelle Parker? No. In the end, I don't think he will. But again, then why try it? Why risk all that? Because he might not be risking anything. If what I told you holds up, he would just go back to being DA. Alrighty, 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210 and you're on board. So the finale for Colbert received 6.74 million views. The Letterman finale, 13.8. Get it? Oh, wait a minute, Dom. Carson's finale, 55 million people. Wasn't that Bette Midler, Wind Beneath My Wings, sitting on his desk? I seem to remember that. So imagine touting this. Johnny, 55 million people watch that. Now, I get it. There are more options today, but still, considering the guests he had, considering all this anti-Trump stuff, yada, 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 that's not so overwhelming with Stephen Colbert, is it? And just the lame idea that Trump is the reason that he was fired. Losing, I gave you those numbers the other day from Joe Concha. They were unbelievable. 200 people staff to put on that crap. It's hard to believe. 200 people to put that on? I mean, we have on a daily basis, I have Henry and Kirk. That's 100 times their staff. We got 3 hours. I don't think he was doing 3 hours. Come on. All righty, 855-839-1210. David, the first one in, Blue Cities and Crime. All-time combo. Could be real, could be a duo. I'll take another one off the board, mac and cheese. It's not peanut butter and jelly. Nothing's ever going to rival that. But it approaches it a bit. So hit us with one like that. Could be a food combo, could be a duo, could be something a little bit outside the box. That's what we're looking for here. 855-839-1210. You get on board. Coming up a little bit later, Pope Leo and I in agreement. We have a little bit of Pope Leo. That encyclical did come down in which he says we have to disarm AI. And we had a speaker in the last couple of days. It was Wozniak, one of the all-time big computer guys, say, you're right to be going after AI. We tried to create a brain, and we can't. You have a brain, not AI. I'm telling you, the people I've had on, though, they were kind of poo-pooing me over this all-out attack on AI. I see it more clearly. It is a threat not just to jobs, it's a threat to humanity, ultimately. It's not like the Industrial Revolution. It's way beyond that. Alrighty, 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. Okay, let me tell you, first of all, though, if you're sick of prices that are constantly rising, especially in some of your basic health essentials, you're not alone. And Rescue is doing something about it. This Memorial Month, the entire month, Rescue Natural Supplements is featuring huge rollback prices on all their products, from cholesterol and metabolic support to their best-selling high-intensity omega-3s. What's more, you can actually stack your savings. When you buy 2 or more bottles, you'll get bonus bottles for free. Go to res-q.com to shop these deals, stock up on your favorites, or try something new that fits your health goals. Rescue products are meticulously crafted, rigorously tested, and rooted in the belief that wellness should be personal, effective, and grounded in science. So what are you waiting for? Stack up your savings with major rollback prices on top of Memorial Month deals site-wide. Shop today at res-q.com or call a product consultant 800-26-ALIVE. Like right now, 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Now's the best time to put your health first and start feeling better. Just go to res-q.com.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Dr. Anthony Fauci. 6 years later, millions of people are dead, trillions of dollars were spent, our civil liberties were shredded by mandates and lockdowns. The man at the center of it all has never faced a single consequence. He's a doctor. He only wants to do what's best for you. Doctors have egos. Doctors like to make a lot of money. And when you've been in charge of whatever you've been in charge of going back almost 4 decades, you start to walk around like your you-know-what doesn't stink, and anybody that questions you is beneath you. Remember the arrogance of this guy?
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, it's Nick. Transform any living space for summer, indoors or out, during the Memorial Day sale at Bucks County Estate Traders. Their showroom is filled with high quality, built-to-last furniture, and I love the incredible variety. No matter your style, you will find beautiful pieces for every room in your home, plus a huge selection of patio and sunroom furniture. Save 20 to 50% store-wide. The sale runs now through the 31st, so don't miss it. Visit BucksCountyEstateTraders.com or their huge showroom in Hatfield. Tell them Nick sent you.
Picking out an engagement ring can be terrifying. You're searching for the ring, but have no idea where to start. Go to Family & Company Jewelers in Marlton. The team, especially JR, makes it easy. No pressure, just real help from someone who cares. They break down diamonds, styles, and what actually matters. Their selection is huge. Every shape, size, and price range. You leave confident, not overwhelmed. When it comes to finding the ring, there's only one place to go. Family & Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Chuck McDowell here with Red Pocket Mobile. How long have you been stuck with the same phone plan? 2 years? 5? 10? Are you tired of surprise fees and confusing bills that never match what you thought you were paying? Cut the nonsense.
Right now at redpocket.com, new and existing customers adding a line can get our premium 5G plan for just $5 a month. That's only $60 a year.
And here's the kicker. Red Pocket Mobile gives you access to all 3 5G networks. You pick the one that works best where you live or work, or switch anytime for better coverage. And with Red Pocket, you keep your phone and your number. Why in the world would you not switch? Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Celebrate Memorial Day with big savings from Red Pocket Mobile. Right now, new and existing customers can get our premium 5G plan for just $5 a month. Just $60 a year and choose from all 3 major 5G networks with one locked-in low price at redpocket.com. That's redpocket.com. redpocket.com.
Dom Giordano, weekdays, noon till 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
And on the free Odyssey app.
Okay, it is Dom time. Welcome in on Memorial Day. Today's side question, combos, duos. This is a combo day, remembrance, and then family, cookouts, parties, that kind of stuff. 855-839-1210, real or fictional. You can hit us with that. Also, we've been talking about the New York Giants quarterback. Here's an example. Former CNN and CNBC political reporter John Harwood. Now, this guy once actually moderated a presidential debate. He said that saying Democrats were crying over Dart, but had no problems with Steve Kerr's political rants over the years. He said that was because Dart was introducing and speaking up for an immoral sociopathic criminal who's severely damaging America. Get it? And this guy was a presidential debate moderator. Oh, man, you wonder how it's biased in presidential debates or anything else. So saying, well, the difference is Dart introducing President Trump is a sociopathic killer he's introducing versus Steve Kerr trying to stop this sociopathic killer. That is the difference. And remember, this isn't just some random guy on Twitter. As I said, the big-time reporter, host, and moderator of a presidential debate. This is where we are, all because this guy introduces President Trump. And as I said, there's quite a feud going on here locally over this. I don't know if it'll spill over Tuesday when everybody's back in position, but it might, and then we might talk about it. And as I mentioned, fraudulent Stephen A. Smith jumps into the ring and says, yeah, what was Jackson Dart thinking of? Doesn't he know that Mamdani was elected mayor of New York? And as a quarterback of the New York Giants, who don't even play in New York, why in the world wouldn't he take that into account rather than cozying up with President Trump? Imagine this now. So Trump, bad. Mamdani, sure, be with a commie. That's all good. A commie driving all kinds of business out of New York. That's no big deal. Go right ahead with it. After all, he was elected mayor. Okay, then. But Trump is beyond radioactive. This is kryptonite beyond kryptonite. 855-839-1210. Hit us with that all-time duo or combo on a big combo day. And, boy, did we have a unbelievable array of great people setting up Memorial Day on Friday. Again, if you missed it, June 19th will be Mulligan's Day. And this year, really, really spectacular. We already have commitments from and we have not one but two book signings going on there. So I do hope you have a lot of advance notice. It's a Friday. Make it a weekend or at least make it a day. All right, I think back to last Memorial Day. First time I heard him. I don't know if he ever called before that, but he's back with us again on Memorial Day. Zenos in Upper Darby. Hey, Zenos, welcome back.
Good afternoon, Dom, for you and your gang. How are you today? Yes, it was a year ago today, and I'll never forget that. I didn't believe I was going to get on there, and then all of a sudden, somebody asked me, and I said, Zenos. Just popped in my head, Zenos, which means stranger, and I said, great, that's what we're going to go by. So, and it was a year.
Look, Zenos, I think I have fielded easily 50,000 calls, and that's in the top 2 or 3. And the others were one where I intervened and told a guy he was taking down the sign for Wild Bill Guinier, Band of Brothers, and his nephew was trying to stop him. It was so that he could park there in South Philly. So the nephew thinks, I'll put him on with Dom Giordano. That'll stop him. And I tell the guy, you touch that sign, we're all going to be right over there. Man, what am I going to do? I remember that call, and I remember Zenos.
Right, and it was happening. Why is Philadelphia spelled with a PH? And I tried to explain, and I did, that in the Greek you get that thing that looks like a P has a R sound, Dom. If you get it and download it, you will see the Greek alphabet. The true P is the pi, but when you get the P and the H together, it makes an F sound, and that's where this whole started, And that's why it's spelled like Philadelphia or, PhD, because it's philosophy, that's the way it's spelled.
Well, it's been a remarkable year. We're really hoping you get, I can't tell you the number of people that want to meet you, including Roe. We got to get you to Mulligan's.
You know what? I'm going to I don't want to commit, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get to one of your soirees real good. I'm going to pop in there like a fart in a crowded room. I'm going to try, honest to God, I'm going to try to make myself known there so I can get to meet everybody. Everybody's so cool there, and I'm glad that you give me the opportunity to speak my mind, because in a lot of these places you won't get that from the media. You won't. They speak their mind. They go in there, and they're not journalists, Tom.
Well,
because
Zenos,
a journalist talks for himself.
For malpractice as a talk host, if we didn't give Zenos a platform to talk,
Absolutely.
It would be un-American.
That's right, and I'm glad you do, Tom, because I won't get that nowhere else. Besides, when I'm out on the street, and I do speak my mind out there, I let none of that get in my way. You got to talk. This is America.
Exactly.
I came here when I was 1.5 years old, and I love this country. I was willing to go to war. I still got my draft cards, Tom.
Wow.
I was going to go
Zenos,
there, whatever.
You are what makes this country great. So what's your side today, Zenos?
Well, Dom, we're going to go right back to the old way. It's sauce and gravy.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
and you know it, and you went to Italy, and you got to shame the devil, tell the truth, Dom. Over there, Italy, Greece, Spain, Portugal, it is sauce.
All right. You know what?
Gravy is an American thing from South Philly, New York. It is sauce, Tom, and that's what I'm going to go with, and I
think
thank you.
The spectacular, Kirk, at Mulligan's would be Zenos debating Roe on the gravy sauce.
Oh, that would be awesome. Just to have a panel alone on just that.
Oh, my God. That's an hour alone right there.
And I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that called me off air and wants to drive him. I offer to do it, so he's going to get down there come hell or high water.
Oh, he went off. Okay, thanks,
Sorry.
Zenos. Yeah,
Sorry,
gravy and sauce. That's a good one. Yep. That is one of the marks of this show. And Zenos is a big sauce proponent. Yeah, he's almost up there with Riccioli on that. And Roe, oh, God, you saw her face when we were losing on that.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, my
the
God.
face was so crestfallen, more and more and more.
I see her counting, and they're recounting and all. Picture Frank of South Philly, who's also a big personality with Zenos. Oh, God. Woo! All right, that's 1 hour in the books. Big 1 o'clock hour coming up. The Pope and I agree on something. I told you about this last week, but we have some sound of Pope Leo. He has issued his encyclical on AI. All right, but get in on the side question, too. 855-839-1210. A combo or a duo, meaning people. Today is a combo day. It's a special day of remembrance, but also people getting together, having fun, brought to you by the people who sacrifice so much for our way of life. It is the ultimate combo day, though. 855-839-1210.
May weather is nice, but the summer heat is coming, and so are the high utility bills. Don't wait for your AC to start working overtime. Call Window Nation now. During Window Nation's May sale, buy 4 windows and get 4 free. That's right. Replace your windows and get half of them absolutely free. Plus, get 0 down and no payments or interest for 2 years. The experts at Window Nation will install your windows in 1 day or less. Beat the heat and save big. Schedule your free consultation at windownation.com.
A diagnosis like heart, because when it's your heart, you don't take chances. DemandDeborah.org.
I've been working with the team at Lexus at Cherry Hill for over 10 years now, and they just helped me get into my beautiful new white RX 350. I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. The ride is smooth and quiet, and the entire experience at Lexus at Cherry Hill is always first class. From sales to finance, they treat you like family, and they make the whole process easy. They are family-owned and operated, veteran-owned, and you can truly feel the difference. If you're thinking about a new car, visit Lexus of Cherry Hill in Mount Laurel or lexusofcherryhill.com.
There's one box that you'd run back into your burning house to grab. It's the box filled with your videotapes, film reels, and photos. Those sentimental, meaningful, irreplaceable moments. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago so that we could help families save their memories from being destroyed by floods or fires.
And it's not just natural disasters, Adam. Every day, videotapes and photos are slowly fading away, decaying, neglected in closets and attics.
Digitizing your old media stops fading, and preserving those recordings means they are safe forever. It's like magic, converting your shoebox of memories into digital files, ready to watch and share.
It's the only way to ensure your legacy is safe for generations. That's why over 1 million families have already trusted Legacy Box. Legacy Box is simple and easy, it works, and is safe. We'd love to preserve your family's collection. Don't wait, the risk is too great.
Visit legacybox.com/radio to save 50%. That's legacybox.com/radio to get started and save. Legacybox.com/radio.
Okay, everyone, it is Dom time. I see Pastor Bill Devlin checking in. He'll be at Mulligan's. Here is a moment where Pope Leo and the Pope also apologized, the first Pope, for slavery and the Vatican, even though it wasn't explicit by the Vatican. It goes back to Portugal in the 1500s. I'll ask Bill Devlin about that in a moment. But here is Pope Francis talking today, Pope Leo, about artificial intelligence. And he uses the word, it needs to be disarmed. And he talks about why he uses that word, cut 18.
Artificial intelligence needs to be disarmed. The word is strong, I know, but deliberately chosen because this moment needs words capable of attracting attention, awakening consciences, and indicating paths forward for humanity. The Church has long been working for nuclear disarmament, aware that every great technical power can affect people's lives, and so must be accompanied by adequate moral discernment and public control. Nuclear disarmament remains a service to peace and the dignity of the human family. In a similar sense, artificial intelligence now demands to be disarmed, freed from logics that turn it into an instrument of domination, exclusion, and death. Like nuclear energy, it must be at the service of all and of the common good. Decisions about technology must never be separated from conscience and responsibility. Let us not sleep as others do, admonished the Apostle Paul, but let us keep awake. Such vigilance is necessary today.
All right, there is Pope Leo on artificial intelligence. This is cut 17, Steve Wozniak, formerly, well, I guess still one of the biggest guys that have given us technology, computerization, up and down the line. He was a commencement speaker. Here he's talking about actual intelligence as AI, not this AI artificial intelligence, and a sense of what others have faced at commencement addresses where they have been booed beyond belief because of what they've said. Here's Steve Wozniak.
You all have AI. You all have AI. Actual intelligence. My entire life in the technical world, I've been following people that were trying to figure out how to make a brain, software, hardware, synapse chips. And I was at a company where the engineers figured out how to make a brain. It takes 9 months.
All right, there's Steve Wozniak. So again, the people I've had on, I cited a few of them. O'Reilly poo-pooed what I was saying, not directly with AI. Stacey Garrity talked about, well, you know, we have a lot of abandoned places in Pennsylvania for those AI centers. And I've seen a whole gaggle of commencement speakers talk about industrial revolution and AI. No, Pope Leo in his first encyclical is correct on this. Now, the area where I get the Pope also apologized, did this First Vatican apology for what he said was the Vatican's complicity in slavery. Now, this dated back to the 1500s, and it involved a Pope who said it was okay in a war for the Portuguese to subdue their enemies and keep them enslaved. That's a little bit different of what we ordinarily think about. So I am still suspect, as you know, of this Pope, but when it comes to AI, I'm glad to see his first encyclical was on that, because we are racing willy-nilly toward this because of the battle with the Chinese. And if I hear one more time, two things about AI. One, oh, you're a Luddite. This is like the Industrial Revolution. No, it's not. This is way beyond Industrial Revolution. This is something putting into creation that is all-encompassing, and even at some point might have a sense of itself, is the best way I could put it, and that's a real danger. The other thing is, if I hear one more time, that's why I was so glad to hear Wozniak. Well, what's the matter? Don't you want AI to cure cancer? Yeah, right. Here we go again with the wild stuff. I would tell you it's a lot better bet that some really ominous things could happen with the AI versus that AI is going to cure cancer. It's just there's a clack of people who are going to score big time on this. There might even be 1 million of them. But for the rest of people, at best, this is going to be a slightly negative thing, I think. 855-839-1210, you get on board. Side question, just hit us with that all-time duo or combo on this day where two things are combined tremendously. Bill Devlin sent me a picture. He was at the Washington Cemetery over there, Washington Crossing, I guess, with Brian Fitzpatrick. And it grows, you grow beyond tired of this guy day after day. This is cut 9. Here's Fitzpatrick over the weekend on several shows, but this is the one that we have, talking about the so-called $1.8 billion slush fund from President Trump and what Brian Fitzpatrick is going to do about it.
It's absurd, and that's why we're stopping it. That's why we're not going to let it happen. It's absurd on its face. I think everybody that's objective and viewing this through objective eyes knows that it's absurd. And it's our job in Congress to not just sit by. We gotta step forward and reclaim our authority under Article 1, especially when it comes to appropriations. That's chiefly the responsibility, the constitutional authority of Congress. We control the money that comes in and out, both through taxation and through appropriations. And if the American taxpayer dollar is being used in a way that the American taxpayer does not consent to and does not approve of, and this certainly falls squarely within that category, it's our job to make sure that we ask the questions, identify what the source is, so we can nip this problem in the bud.
The president said something to your fiancée relative to your voting. I think it was at Andrews.
Do you have a problem with Prime Minister Netanyahu?
When her husband votes against me all the time, can you imagine? I don't know what's with him. You better ask him what's with him. Her husband, she's married to a certain congressman. He votes against, he likes voting against Trump. You know what happens with that? It doesn't work out well. I don't know why he does.
What response do you have to what the president said to your fiancée? My reaction when I heard it was to say, I don't think that the president understands your congressional district. Having been born and raised in that congressional district, people appreciate independence. He may have just done Brian Fitzpatrick a favor for the fall. That's obviously occurred to you.
No, everybody's entitled to speak their mind and offer their opinions, and I certainly respect everybody's right to do that. It's my job to represent my district. I know you're very familiar with our district, Michael. Bucks and Montgomery counties in Pennsylvania, very, very independent-minded people, amazing people that live in that district, who demand independent-minded representatives, and I'm certainly one of those, and I'm going to do my job. I've heard from and talked to many people about this issue. They've made clear where they stand, and I'm going to reflect their voice on the floor of the House and through legislation that we are introducing. I think the bigger question is what impact will it have on the actions of members of Congress who are subject to all sorts of criticism from all different people.
All right, there's Brian Fitzpatrick, Mr. Independent. So independent, he told Punchbowl he didn't want to run as a Republican. He has to because it's a closed primary, but he's really an independent. All right, we will see about Bucks County. Look, for the moment, we still need that seat. You know the whole thing, but boy, oh boy, I don't remember being in a situation where we had to put up with as much as we've had to around this guy. Phone lines are 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. All that you need to do is push pound 1210. Coming up early today, Memorial Day, Joe of Exton has an answer to the side question. Today's side question is simply combos, duos, real or fictional. That's what we're looking for. The story, though, that really is the biggest story out there, and I was a bit worried, Trump's instincts pulled in. Look, I think Ted Cruz and Mike Pompeo, I don't know what you think, are doing a service by sounding the alarm, because it's got to be awfully tempting for the president to make some kind of deal with the Iranians that we move off of this, get back, get the Strait of Hormuz open, yada, yada, yada. But what was leaking out is not the deal that we want. And if he does that deal, two things will happen. It will be the wrong thing, and politically it will be the wrong thing. We got to come out of this at this point, after all this blood and treasure, with a better situation, not regime change. That's not going to happen. That's a really hard thing. But we have to have a better sense that we have stopped their nuclear program, and also that they're going to be less likely to shut the Strait of Hormuz or anything along those lines. If we don't, then what was this all about? So this is going to grind on again. We were at a moment on Saturday night, Sunday, where I thought something was going to happen, and I didn't think it was good. And I think Trump came to his senses by talking to enough people and realizing this deal, alleged deal, wasn't good enough. 855-839-1210. And Cruz put it best. Look, support, they can't have a nuclear weapon. That's the right thing. We did the right thing there. But beyond that, we need to move past this now, and we can't just go back to the same Obama deal or something like it. 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Just to point out how great this show is, Dawn Stensland, Greg Stocker, everybody involved. We are crushing it in the YouTube game.
Thank you for making us the #1 viewed news talk show in Odyssey.
And if you ever miss the show, you can always get the podcast on iTunes, where we have a 4.9 out of 5. Vicky Herz, Herz, says, the only podcast that truly feels like a family, especially when you watch on YouTube.
Aww.
They tell the truth, they debate,
and we fight.
And most of all, they start at 6 a.m.
Wow.
Thankfully, with the podcast, I can listen anytime.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Hit the road this season to watch the Birds. Book your road trip with Fans of Philly. Trips are available now for Nashville, Arizona, Chicago, and London. Travel in style with transportation, a pregame party, and game tickets to enjoy the Birds on the road this season with Fans of Philly. The official travel partner of 94 WIP and the Eagles Radio Network. Book now at fansofphilly.com. That's fans with a PH of Philly.com.
Horizon Home Services is here to make taking care of your cooling, heating, plumbing, and electrical systems feel as simple as waving a wand with Comfort 360, the whole home protection membership. For just $19.99 a month, make getting maintenance, repairs, and replacements easier with 2 HVAC tune-ups a year and waive diagnostic fees with repairs. Plus, members get exclusive savings like 15% off any service. No magic spells required. Live comfortably ever after with Comfort 360. Learn more at horizonservices.com/comfort360.
Hey, Royers Ford, remember to tell your smart speaker to play 1210 WPHT.
It is downtime. Welcome in, everyone. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Don't wait. Don't let them take all the good ones on the side question. A combo, a duo is what we are looking for. And again, politically, with Fitzpatrick, it's just such a torturesome thing. The independence, he's an independent. That's what people want in Bucks County. My goodness. It is just ongoing battle here. No, Democrats and Democrats in their district, they're not independent anything. They realize this is a battle for the future of America. And your stance, what was gender affirming care with Brian Fitzpatrick? Was that an independent vote, so-called gender affirming care, not to stop that? This is cut 13. Here's Tom Steyer, the far left billionaire who might be the next governor of California. And this seems to be in the Fitzpatrick mode. Here's what he said when he was asked again about having men/boys in girls, women's sports. Cut 13.
You talked about trans people. I'm totally in favor of trans athletes in high school. I think when you understand the vulnerability, the stress, the danger of being a trans kid, and you understand that almost half of them try to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And then you think we're going to punish those kids. We're going to cut them off from team sports. We're going to cut them off from participating in the community. We're going to cut them off from fun. It's like, no, we're not. No, we're not. And, as someone who played sports my whole life and loved sports and loved playing sports, there are more important things than whether you start on your high school basketball team. And that is standing up for people who are under threat of death.
See, this today on Memorial Day, I'm trying not to get lathered up too much. And the moderator, the woman there, I think it was with him. This is the just blatant misinformation and blatant over-the-top mentality here. So you don't get to start on your team. And these are the same people that would prattle on about women's rights. Every other second, these people come up with something, another spin they try. They're going to be the smartest one, like Josh Shapiro, to tell us why boys and men should be in female sports. Guess what? I know it's maddening. I say this almost every day. We are winning on this across America. In the last election, 2024, last big election, that's an example. And even better politically, we're winning slowly, meaning they're going to have to be beaten down in election after election after election. Because every instinct I have as doing this, seeing people on the inside, politics, it tells me this is an issue, not the bathrooms, but the playing field. When you show people, these young women, having to face this because of moronic rantings like this all over the place, they want to know, who is it that is forcing this? Where do I go to vote against them? Again and again and again and again and again. So Stacey Garrity, I think, has to zone in a bit more here. Josh Shapiro, maybe surprisingly, has not weaseled around this. He's very clear. He's saying pretty much what Steyer's saying here. And he's telling us, this Steyer guy, that if you oppose this, then you are putting at the lives of the trans child at risk. And I know the response. Well, they can play in any sport they want. They just have to play in their gendered sport. It's pretty simple. Well, no, it's not. Magical thinking. Whatever they think they are that day and the next day, it doesn't matter. You're the one, and by the way, those statistics about suicide are way over the top. We have Children's Hospital at Philadelphia here. They have this 15-year-old I told you about on Friday. Well, the person was 15 then. Going after them on the very same things. I can't, with a straight face, look at Children's Hospital in the way that I used to. This isn't science, it's ideology. And there are comeuppances for this. I know every year we see this A.B. Hernandez out there in California beating girls in long jumps and high jumps and everything else. But politically, even in places like California, there is a growing groundswell against this. And it's not just this. This is a tell. And it says that people wacky enough to defend this and politically die on the hill of this like Kamala Harris. How in the world would we trust them with the economy or anything else? So brings me to a point. Just in the last couple of days, because there was a poll out where Harris is leading the Democrats. That's name recognition. I don't think she's going to be the nominee. But the argument is, oh boy, if Harris were running against Trump at this moment in time, Harris would win. I don't believe that even a little bit. As much as there have been any number of things going on here right now, gas prices, etc., because of Iran, Harris is still not going to win over Trump. That's just not happening. And rather than having not enough time, she had too much time. She'd be better off if Biden quit, say, with 2 weeks left or something, and she just ran with that $1 billion for 2 weeks. Maybe she could have snuck over the finish line. The longer she had, the more she was exposed as the dope that she is. And that's why she lost in 2024. Also, her support for trans rights, for gender affirming care for people here illegally in prison. Remember that whole thing? Just ludicrous that people still want to go down that path. So Steyer is, okay, we'll see what happens. Let's go to Joe in Exton on Talk Radio 1210. Hi, Joe.
Yes, hello, Dom. I want to begin by wishing you a memorable Memorial Day. And in reference to my side answer, it refers to the birth of a pair of Siamese twins.
Okay. All right, Joe. Thank you.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
My double are the Siamese twins.
Okay, gotcha. Yes. All right, that is a combo. I don't know the number of Siamese twins over the years, but you can imagine difficulty with that. It is remarkable stuff. All right, yeah, that's a good answer, though. A combo or a duo. All right, because today, in my mind, is a combo day. It's a day that we remember and a day that also we celebrate with family and friends and cookouts and the like. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. A big day when I agree with Pope Leo, but spot on AI and Wozniak, that clip I played you from the graduation that he spoke at. Now, this is, let's see. This is Cut 16. I should have looked up, and you see this guy on TV a lot. Cut 16. This is Congressman Jim Himes. Himes, yeah. And this guy is as radical as anybody the Democrats have, and he is a confident radical. Here's Himes making the point, yeah, the Iranians, if they wanted to, could have a nuclear weapon by now, so why are we doing all this? Cut 16.
Let's not underappreciate the fact that Iran, had they wanted to, probably could have assembled a nuclear device at any point in the last decade or so in a matter of some months, right?
All right, so, yeah, they would be able to do it. They're being generous to the world here. What about a united front against an implacable enemy, against evil? No, Democrats are not going to come anywhere near that. They seem to be saying, well, just continue to talk to them, continue to do the Obama deal, whatever that was, and that will be enough to stop them from getting a nuclear weapon. And look, we have all the technology in the world. We have eyes on a lot of stuff. But the world changes, even more than with AI. If they have a nuclear weapon, that's it. Every nation in that region, with all the money, power they have, they're going to want a nuclear weapon. You think Israel is going to stand by and have a nuclear weapon pointed at them? Because that's where they'll point it. No, they are not. And if they gather intelligence that they're anywhere close to that, they're going to strike. And it seems as if in the minds on the left, October 7th is no big deal. what happened on October 7th. Most recent reporting laid out how unimaginable this was. Dr. Victoria Coates on Friday's show made mention of the fact, you know what it's like to assemble that number of people, that evil, to take joy in this, to celebrate it, to tell their parents they did it? Yeah, I never thought about it quite the way if you heard that on Friday when she made that point. And that's exactly what Israel faces. But here, over in Mount Airy, they don't face that, so they anoint to Congress Chris Rapp, who is just an utter anti-American, anti-Israel, anti-Semitic, Hassan Pikerite. He is the face, when he gets to Washington, you'll see what I'm talking about, of the very worst. All right, hit us on the side, 855-839-1210. Something or somebody real or fictional that is a duo or combo is what we are looking for. We've had some pretty good answers so far. Let's get yours in. And again, well, here is, I mentioned this with Jackson Dart, all-time great name, by the way, quarterback of the New York Giants. And Dart in the news because he dared to introduce President Trump, President of the United States. This is cut 15, Kirk. Here is Mondani. Guy Shiraki saw this on Twitter. That's where I got the quote from today. Thank you, Guy. Said this guy shouldn't even be allowed to hail a cab for Margaret Thatcher. But Mondani, who's really a communist, not a socialist, brings up her name because of that famous Margaret Thatcher quote, cut 15.
Of the Margaret Thatcher quote. The problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money. If anything, my friends, it seems that you eventually need a socialist to clean up the mess. On January 1st, I told New Yorkers that City Hall would hold a singular purpose: to make this city belong to more of its people than it did the day before. For 102 days, we have endeavored to do exactly that.
No, you haven't, buddy. No, you haven't, buddy. You were the first mayor in living memory of anybody out there that would not walk in the Israel Day parade, would you, buddy? I can wish, in my own scorecard in my head, more for failure here at every possible level than I can for Mondani. He's on my failure factory watch to wish every day for the maximum amount of failure. When he opens that stupid grocery store soon, or now it's going to be two of them. Failure. What has this guy done except one controversy after another? Tipping his hand of how anti-cop he is. Driving who knows how much out of the city. That's what he's about, and Margaret Thatcher is right. It will always be that way. But Margaret Thatcher would say, yeah, but you're not even a socialist, buddy. You're a commie. Why not just admit it? That's what you are. I reference this, though, because Stephen A. Smith today on ESPN talking about this Jackson Dart said, doesn't this guy know the quarterback by standing up and introducing President Trump? He's the polar opposite of the man who was just elected mayor of New York. Shouldn't the quarterback, think about this in New York, Stephen A. Smith said, shouldn't he be thinking he's offending vast parts of New York because Mondani is the mayor? Imagine now, introducing, that's all, the President of the United States. You got to be thinking, if you're the quarterback, how's that going to play with, I don't know, Abdul Carter from Penn State, who was a failure as their outside linebacker, and said, I thought this was AI, that my quarterback is up there introducing this guy? Really? It is stunning to see the reaction to this. I wonder what would happen here in Philadelphia, because I never can figure out these real Eagles fans. Any number of them don't seem to be to the left, but it seems like they're willing to put up with whatever as long as they're able to win. Jalen Hurts not going to the White House. Why does he have to go to the White House? Well, he doesn't have to go, of course. And then it's Trump. All right, 855-839-1210. But Mondani is already failing, and by the time this is over, the failure will be unbelievable. We've seen countless incidents of what he does and what he's going to do. And he is still maintaining he's a Democrat socialist. I think it's pretty clear how far he goes. And the hatred and not being able to march in the Israel parade. I mean, the mayor of New York marches in all these ethnic parades. They're supposed to revel in it. Is Columbus Day? Yeah, that's right, Columbus. He can't march in that. How many parades can it? I know, the Commie Day parade, though. He can march in that. Now, take Margaret Thatcher out of your speeches, buddy. You got to be kidding me. We need a socialist to clean things up. All right, 855-839-1210. We'll get to some more calls coming up. Hit us with that all-time combo or duo, real or fictional. Here with Dom on Memorial Day.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
I am not an activist. I have no aspirations for politics. I'm not angling for Fox News. By the way, when you look at the history of this morning show, the ones in the past or in the present, like the guy that we put out to pasture in Missouri that agree with Trump 100% of the time, you know what their ratings were compared to the three of us right now? The three of us. Nick, Dawn, and Greg. We've beaten them all.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
A well-organized home isn't a luxury, it's a practical upgrade. Closet Factory designs and installs custom storage for closets, pantries, garages, and home offices, built to fit your space and your needs. You'll work with a designer, choose the look, and get professional installation, so the project stays simple and the results last. Start with a free design consultation at closetfactory.com. That's closetfactory.com.
Summer is almost here, and it's the perfect time to start stocking up on easy treats from Tasty Cake. The baked peach pie is a sweet fruit-filled snack that feels like warm weather is on the way. And the lemon cupcakes are perfect for backyard hangs, weekend outings, and all those busy on-the-go summer days that are right around the corner. Simple fun and ready for the season ahead. Tasty Cake, accept no substitutes.
Chuck McDowell here with Red Pocket Mobile. How long have you been stuck with the same phone plan? 2 years? 5? 10? Are you tired of surprise fees and confusing bills that never match what you thought you were paying? Cut the nonsense.
Right now at redpocket.com, new and existing customers adding a line can get our premium 5G plan for just $5 a month. That's only $60 a year.
And here's the kicker. Red Pocket Mobile gives you access to all 3 5G networks. You pick the one that works best where you live or work, or switch anytime for better coverage. And with Red Pocket, you keep your phone and your number. Why in the world would you not switch? Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Celebrate Memorial Day with big savings from Red Pocket Mobile. Right now, new and existing customers can get our premium 5G plan for just $5 a month. Just $60 a year and choose from all 3 major 5G networks with one locked-in low price at redpocket.com. That's redpocket.com. redpocket.com.
Memorial Day is a special day and a sacred day in America when we remember those who died while serving in our country's armed forces. I'm Joanne Small-Canella of the Crash Proof Retirement Show. On behalf of my co-host Tracy Stillman and the entire Crash Proof Retirement team, we join all Americans this weekend in paying tribute and honoring those men and women of the United States military who demonstrated extreme bravery and valor in making the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our freedom. On this Memorial Day weekend, we ask that you take a moment and remember those fallen soldiers who showed us the courage needed to persevere in the face of overwhelming obstacles. America is great today because of their fearlessness and their selflessness. All Americans should be unified today in our thanks, our respect, and our admiration. Be safe this weekend, and God bless America.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're so delicious and with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Weather sponsored by American Heritage Credit Union.
At least we get a little warmer today for Memorial Day. It gets up to 73. The morning rain should leave, just clouds later. We'll get warmer tomorrow. It'll get up to 80 with some high clouds. More sun and high clouds on Wednesday with a high of 79.
With American Heritage Credit Union, you can enjoy a 12-month IRA certificate at 3.91% APY. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/savings to learn more. Insured by the NCUA. Additional share insurance provided by ESI. Not a member? Join today.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT from the Piazza Auto Group Studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations.
Okay, it is Dom time. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining us every day, noon until 3 on Memorial Day, any holiday. And again, don't forget Dom Giordano Day, big holiday coming up June 19th. Mulligan's right there on Hildreth Avenue in Wildwood. We'll be giving you more details on all the things that are going to be happening that day, but it's going to be fabulous, and we want you there with us. So start making your plan. We already have people that rented their rooms to be there for it.
Several people have done that.
Yes,
that's all.
I think
Wildwood's going to be sold out by the time that day happens.
The economic development. Johnny's got to get that sign up. I don't know if it's $5 million, John. I'll settle for $1 million. Come on,
there you go.
All right, let's go to one of those potential all-star callers. This guy really has come on the last 6 months. Michael in Wilmington. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Dom. Happy Memorial Day to you, Kirk, Henry, the whole staff.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you always taking my phone calls. Greatly appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah, and it's been a good day. Terrible weather, but I am glad you brought up the Jackson Dart thing because I heard that, and I'm not a Giants fan at all, but I was like, how innocent of a comment just to announce and welcome the president, and he is receiving all this backlash. Hard to believe this is happening. And then, of course, to have a guy like Stephen A. Smith, who I'm not surprised, kind of roll him under the bus. Kind of par for the course.
Yeah, imagine
my opinion.
You can't introduce the president to the quarterback of the Giants, who are not even in New York, and Mondani's the mayor, so that's why you shouldn't introduce the president. Oh, my God.
I mean, exactly. It's so ridiculous. I mean, he just introduced him. He didn't make any other commentary. He had this, that Giants chant, and then just welcomed them. That was the end of it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then Mondani. I mean, like you said, he can't even go for some of the famous, parades that he's supposed to be a part of. It's so ridiculous. Really ridiculous. But I'm glad you have actually brought that to light today because I was thinking of this. And it's just again, the Democrats just show their true colors every time, no matter what. Anything they can grab a hold on to, they will do it. Every time.
That's one of the reasons making Trump an other rather than this is perfunctory. He's the president. You introduce him 3 times now in under a month. We've had weapons fired in the area of Trump, with the guy killed in the last day or so firing toward the White House.
Yeah, Dom, and I am surprised that again these whack Democrats, or they haven't come out and said, "Oh, this was staged. This was another staged attempt for the president's assassination," which they were saying happened at the Correspondents' Dinner. I'm shocked no one's come out and said, "Oh, this was staged." It's just crazy that on how they react to anything like this. So, yep, glad you brought this to light. So, my side, Dom, is at least over this weekend, because I did a lot of shopping, is getting a shopping cart and having one bum wheel on the bottom, one that's either spinning, stuck, can't move it with the shopping cart. And I have that has happened to me so many times where I've seen so many people. You're rushing, you have to get that one last shopping cart, and the one wheel on the bottom just doesn't work. So the shopping cart and the one bum wheel is my side, Dom.
Thank you. Thanks, Michael, as always. That's a great one. All right, we're looking for all-time combos here around that. By the way, this guy is a piece of work. Now, I don't think this flies in Texas, but it's gotten to this point. Tallarico, the Democrat nominee to run against, it looks like Paxson to me for the Senate. He's on a show today, and he said, I trust Texas women to make decisions about their own bodies, to shape their own destinies. I don't believe that's a place for government. Now, this guy's as big government as anybody. That's a belief I hold not despite my faith, but because of my faith. Jesus never talks about abortion. The Bible is silent on abortion. All right, you see what's going on with this guy. This guy's a different type of Democrat. He's not going to say, well, look, I have to put my faith aside and look at this in the secular world. No. He's saying he's not putting his faith aside. His faith is front and center. And unless Jesus says, thou shalt not abort, you shouldn't abort. Which gets us to thou shalt not murder, and everything else. So I understand why President Trump endorsed Paxson. All I'm saying is, and I think Paxson's going to win. I think this is going to be a pretty big battle. Now, Cornyn is repulsive. He's the ultimate rhino. Would he stand a better chance of getting over the finish line than Paxson? Well, that's what we're going to see, because he's not going to be the nominee. I mean, I think Paxson might have edged him out anyhow, but with the Trump endorsement, that's going to be it. But watch this Tallarico guy. He's gotten away with it up until now. So we'll see if he can get over the top with this. And by the way, Axios reporting today that AOC is really taking a lot of steps that look like someone who's going to run for president. In the end, do I think she will? I'm 50-50 on that. I think she likes all the attention on this, etc. Will she actually do it? Depends upon any number of things. But if she does, the anti-Semitism, the anti-Israel, the stuff that won in Mount Airy, that's going to be one of her calling cards. They cannot get enough of that. Okay, phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you have to do is just push pound 1210. Get in yours on Memorial Day. Some kind of combo, some kind of duo. We've had some pretty clever ones. David in Lexington, big city, blue cities, and crime. Yeah, a given. This is going to be a huge week post-Memorial Day coming up, though. The stuff we told you about with Krasner here in Philadelphia, the Iranian deal, I think was almost done. And then Trump talked to enough people and realized, no, this deal is no better or could be viewed as even worse than what Obama had. You go down that path, that's not going to result in anything good. By the way, Norristown, which has a rotten school system, really, you talk about low achieving, etc. They are eliminating their DEI director. They're getting rid of the DEI director. I don't know how much money was, sent out there, but they're claiming it is not MAGA, meaning Trump, related. Yes, it is. Norristown eliminates their DEI director. Everybody knows about Camden, and Camden's gotten better, I have to say, as far as public safety. I think it's real. Norristown, similar, I know smaller, but Norristown is just not good. And their school district is the main thing I'm talking about. By the way, if you missed the first hour, this Jackson Dart guy, quarterback for the Giants, as a result of the backlash of what he said about President Trump, there was another backlash of people who bought 277,000 Jason Dart jerseys in one 24-hour period. That's an all-time record. I don't know how much they go for. I know they're pricey. From the NFL store, I believe that's where it's from. 277,000. Does that tell you that people are sick and tired And we're sick and tired of a lot of these overpaid athletes and others who, like this Abdul Carter guy from Penn State, like Stephen A. Smith, who comes on, and he had a chance to reflect on this. And I watched him on ESPN today saying, well, Jackson Dart is already suspicious because he played at the University of Mississippi. And then he said, doesn't this guy as quarterback of the Giants realize that Mamdani, as the mayor of New York, and Mamdani is the polar opposite of Trump, why would you be introducing Trump? This is the wildest take of all. And yet Stephen A. Smith, I think, makes $20 million a year and is going to run for president. I've been in the ring with him. I had to debate him for Lou Tilley on NBA basketball, which he's an expert on. So am I, but I dabble in it. I don't do it every day. And it went pretty well, but I'm not impressed, and I'm certainly not impressed with him as president. He's just kind of a curiosity. But the stuff he said today about this guy ought to realize Mamdani is the duly elected mayor. You go around with Trump and you're flying in the face of New York City. Well, we got to check in with a commie before we can introduce the president. Who should he have gone to for permission? Stephen A. Smith? Abdul Carter? AOC? 855-839-1210. Grab a line.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Here's the big announcement. Coming up next Thursday, May 28th at the New Jersey FOP Lodge 56 in West Berlin, we will be live from 6 to 11, and we will have a special guest. Sean Farish is coming on up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a good old time.
Yes.
Yes.
Sean will join us live and in person next Thursday at FOP Lodge 56. Go get tickets right now. 1210WPHT.com. They're free. Again, they're free.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
In Philadelphia, when property damage hits, there's one name more homeowners and business owners trust than anyone else. Morano's Public Adjustment Group, the #1 public adjuster in Philly. Why? Because they don't work for the insurance company. They work for you, fighting to get you the maximum settlement you deserve. Fire, water, storm damage, even denied or underpaid claims. Morano's knows how to win. Don't settle for less. Call the team Philadelphia trusts most. Visit Morano'sAdjustment.com or call today. Morano's Public Adjustment Group, Philadelphia's #1 public adjuster.
Living here is about more than just the headlines. It's the new restaurant opening in Fishtown. It's the playoff energy at the bank. It's the festivals that make your neighborhood feel like home.
KYW News Radio brings you the pulse of the Delaware Valley. From service journalism that solves problems to stories that celebrate our culture, we cover the life you're actually living.
Authentic, local, factual. KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news source.
Shouldn't you expect more from your SUV? Introducing the all-new 2026 Mazda CX-5 with more space to fit every aspect of your life, more style inside and out, and more advanced tech features that put you in control. There's more to the Mazda CX-5 because there's more to you.
Visit Piazza Mazda of Westchester and Reading for financing as low as 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on select models. Shop online at piazzamazda.com.
You've put in the work to get that first job, moved up the ranks, or started a family. Now it's time to take your success to the next level. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we're here to help you keep that momentum going with educational programs built around real-world, in-demand career skills. We'll teach you how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science, plus timeless skills like leadership, communication, critical thinking, and more. Affordable, accredited, and online. A UMGC education fits your life, so you can keep growing while you keep going. You've succeeded before. Now succeed again. At UMGC, we believe nothing should stand in the way of your next achievement. Not doubt, not your life stage, and especially not an application fee. Just apply by June 1st, and we'll waive your application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Free speech lives here. With Don Stensland, 10 till noon. On Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
Okay, it's Dom time with you up until 3, then the afternoon show today, Memorial Day, back tomorrow, the usual lineup of great stuff. This is Cut 14. This is Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, making the point, the people in Lebanon that are Hezbollah and the like, continuously trying to attack Israel, what they ought to be thanking Israel for. Cut 14.
I wonder if everyone in Lebanon understands that if there were no Israel, they wouldn't have a cell phone. I wonder if they understand that every time they use a USB, every time they use car navigation, that every time they eat a cherry tomato or have a delicious bite of seedless watermelon, instead of saying, I can't talk to those people, they should step across the border, shake the hands, and say, thank you. Thank you for helping create some things that have made my life better and easier.
That's exactly right. You know, I've been to Israel, took listeners there. When you go through the desert, the Israeli side blooms, the other side, no. Yet they're surrounded by 100 million people, 200 million, whatever the number is, that just wake up wanting to kill them, to overrun them. That's what it's about. Not all, but the people in power do. And Iran is at the head of that class. So how is it that Israel and Judaism and Jews and things of that nature, how is it that has become the secret sauce of these Democrat candidates? Because they're haters. Because they've harbored this all along. And they have any number of people that are Jewish, too, that don't speak up, that enable it. Jamie Raskin, the big mouth that you often see on so-called constitutional issues, he's an endorser of this Chris Rabb over in Mount Airy, the guy who made all the news with Hassan Piker, etc. He endorsed him and continues to endorse him. So on and on it goes. But I'm just glad over the weekend the president didn't make what I thought we were sliding toward by what, leaks out, what they're floating, a bad deal here. This is a drain on everyone, and particularly toward the midterms. I think the last 2 weeks, though, I've told you the midterms are looking up. We heard from David of Lexington, South Carolina today. It looks like even the Clyburn seat might move away from the Democrats. The redistricting, the Supreme Court decision, all of that is there. And Democrats are not liked. When you look at any polling question, any issues, they're not. They just have two things going for them: screaming affordability, and as long as gas prices are up, and the media helping, and their sheer hatred of Trump. But they've co-joined that with Netanyahu derangement syndrome, meaning in places like Mount Airy, that drove these voters out for Chris Rabb. And I heard in some precincts there, it was close to 90% of people voted for Rabb. It's stunning. This guy is not liked by anybody, did nothing as a state representative, yet is the darling of the haters. So I tell you now, they're going to drive out their vote. Republicans have to do a better job of driving out our vote. This is not an uphill battle. It's close. But whoever controls the House is going to determine what happens next. And all the Trump agenda pretty much will be stuck. They'll impeach. We'll see all that, which really doesn't matter, but they're not going to kick him out. But it'll be seeing Madeline Dean's face on TV constantly talking about that. That's what we're going to see. All right, we have a big 2 o'clock hour. We'll declare a winner at the end of the hour on our side question today. All-time combos, all-time duos. And we'll take your calls at 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. I'll play for you, too, because it's going to carry over to tomorrow big time. You may have heard me talking periodically. You may be in and out with the show today. What exactly did this New York Giants quarterback, Jackson Dart, what did he actually do? It's pretty brief. We'll play it for you coming up. And then the world ends with this, is what we're seeing play out. Phone lines, though. Get your answer in. 855-839-1210.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415. Or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hi, our strong reputation for offering the lowest possible prices brings so many new customers to National Appliance Warehouse. They shop confidently, knowing that Price Assure is always working to confirm the National Appliance Warehouse price is the best available. What keeps bringing them back is the experience they receive. At National Appliance Warehouse, we're guided by our what if policy, meaning what if this customer was my parent, child, or friend? We provide the same 5-star service we deliver to our own family. You deserve it all. The lowest prices on the perfect new appliances and a delightful, satisfying experience. That's how National Appliance Warehouse customers become our friends.
The Memorial Day mega sale is underway at National Appliance Warehouse. Upgrade your laundry for less with Whirlpool. Get a top-load laundry pair from Whirlpool, regularly $7.49 each, for only $498.88 each. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
If you're talking, they will hear you every single time.
Oh, we're getting killed.
Yeah, well, Kyle's not here.
How come?
Kicked off the team. Didn't Tim tell you? Kyle and some other kids got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. Zero tolerance. He's out for the season.
Come on, it's a first offense, right?
That we know of. But why should that matter? He knew not to drink. I've made it clear to Matt that's what we expect from him. What have you said to Tim?
Nothing really. You know, a lot of kids try it at this age, so...
Yeah, well, a lot of kids don't try it too. I'm not saying that Matt's gonna be this perfect kid, but if I don't tell him what we expect and why he shouldn't drink, how's he gonna know?
You think kids that age really listen?
They never admit it, Bill, but they hear more than you think.
Talk. They hear you. For more information about talking with kids about underage drinking, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
NASCAR champion Bobby Lavani here with my brother Terry and my nephew Justin. You know, every sport has its essential safety gear.
For racing, we wear helmets, fire retardant suits, and Nomex gloves.
For fishing, waterfowl hunting, and boating, we wear life jackets.
After an intense race, there's nothing more relaxing than bass fishing.
Or a little duck hunting on the lake.
But we're the first ones to tell you, on the track or on the water, accidents happen fast.
In a crash, there's no time to put on a helmet. And when a boater capsizes or is thrown from the boat, there's rarely time to reach a stowed life jacket.
But today's life jackets are lightweight and comfortable. Fishing or hunting, they don't get in your way.
That's why you won't catch a Levani on the water without a life jacket.
Don't let us catch you either. Remember, you're in command. Boat safely.
This message brought to you by the United States Coast Guard. For more information on boating safety, visit www.uscgboating.org.
Okay, it is Dom time. Welcome in, everyone. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Side question today, day of remembrance and also a day of celebration. So combos, duos, real or fictional. Could be a food. Like I had peanut butter and jelly, mac and cheese, stuff like that. It's all in the call. All in that. We've had some really good ones. You jump in with that. Now, here is the New York Giants quarterback, Jackson Dart. Here's what he said, introducing President Trump. This will be cut 11. It's only 90 seconds, and most of it is just him walking to the podium, then Trump walking to the podium. But this has set off what is the true face of pro sports, a bunch of people who think they can tell America that America cannot associate with or at least honor the office of the president as long as President Trump is the president. Then they wonder why, this is unparalleled, what's going on here. They wonder why we've seen not one, not two, but three shots fired in the area of Trump just in the last month, the most recent over the Memorial Day weekend. So here is the offender, Jackson Dart, cut 11.
Please welcome starting quarterback of the New York Giants, Jackson Dart.
Yeah. Big Blue Nation, it's a pleasure to be here. I got to start this off with a Go Big Blue. I'd love it if y'all would follow with me. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. What an honor, what a privilege it is to be here. And without further ado, I'm grateful, I'm honored, I'm pleasured to introduce the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump.
So that's it, a lot of it. There's maybe 30 seconds, 20 seconds, pleasure to honor to introduce the president, 45th. Is it, you have to say it twice, and 47th of the United States? So it started with a bust, which is Abdul Carter, the pride of Penn State, who put on Twitter that he thought this was an AI image. Surely, in other words, his quarterback, the leader, the face of the franchise, if you will, wouldn't be up there with endorsing or even introducing this horrific human being, President Trump. And it led to a number of spasms. And on the ESPNs of the world, one former coach, I didn't get his name, he was a moron anyhow. I'm watching this morning just because I know we'd be talking about this. Talking about, well, when it's something this divisive, you really should talk with some of the other team leaders and tell them what you're doing, reassure them. Reassure them what, buddy? What is it that he's reassuring? Does he have to reassure he doesn't support Trump? Is that what you mean? And on it goes. And then Stephen A. Smith, I'm not sure if he was off and he just popped in today. He says, well, this guy has got to be thinking about this, meaning the quarterback. Whoa, Mondani was just elected overwhelmingly, and he's the polar opposite of Trump, and you are the quarterback of the New York Giants. So just this simple, perfunctory, you get a chance to introduce the President of the United States. Have we ever seen that go down that path before? No, and the reason is because the world of sports and sports media has become politically correct, has moved a lot toward the left, and they have taken it upon themselves, one after the other. No, we're not going to go to the White House. President Trump is a racist. That has started to surface in this. So what's the reaction in America? Well, another sector of America who probably couldn't pick Jackson Dart out in a lineup, they, in a one-day, 24-hour period, bought 277,000 Jason Dart jerseys just in a 24-hour period, and that is a record. All right, of a quarterback who, shows some promise, but he's going to get hurt. This guy runs into stuff constantly, the whole deal. Amazing. Just over that what is the period of time he actually speaks that's related to Trump? 20 seconds or so after the Go Big Blue and his music to walk up there, Trump's music to walk up there. That's all that you have. What does it tell us? It tells us, just like, let's go through the list, the media, the world of academia, colleges and the like, they have taken over the sports media, the left, and you get people wondering, why would this guy do this? Doesn't he know in the locker room what could happen around this? And this Abdul Carter guy is a perfect example of somebody who is very public about his religion, and he has every right to be that in America. Did anybody discuss that display with him? No. But with Dart, and then it's compared to Kaepernick. Now, Kaepernick was doing it on company time during games and is a cop hater. But Dart must be a hater. And it always comes back to, how are black players supposed to feel? Now, Abdul Carter's idol, by all accounts, from what I can tell, is Lawrence Taylor. To me, without doubt, he's the greatest defensive player, the most frightening defensive player of all time. And Lawrence Taylor is very friendly with Trump, endorses Trump, is at events with Trump. Not that that should carry anything, but this is what we have to put up with in order to follow sports. And this is a miserable team on top of it for the last century, it seems like, right? They're horrible. A good year would be anywhere near 500. And yet, this has just consumed the last day or so because of this simple thing, and they, sports media and others, dance up to it because they don't really know what to be critical of with Jackson Dart, other than it's Trump. Stephen A. Smith thinks he's a genius by saying, well, Mamdani was elected mayor, so don't you have to take that into account? You represent New York. Mamdani is the polar opposite of Trump. Well, Mamdani's the polar opposite of almost anything out there. Maybe not some Democrats, that's true. Short of Moscow, of the Commie Party. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all that you have to do is just hit pound 1210, and we'll get you on board. So we asked today, and we've gotten some great ones. We're going to get yours in. We'll pick with Jared and Kirk at the end, the winner today. Hit us with that all-time combo or duo. Since today, usually it's the morning dedicated to remembrance, and then people after lunch or whatever take off to some kind of celebration, some kind of barbecue, cookout, things of that nature. It is quite a unique day if people can do both things. And the president was in Arlington today. I'm not sure what time. I didn't see the speech yet. Talking about that and remembering something that President Obama was deficient in, to put it mildly. All right, 855-839-1210. By the way, I mentioned AOC making a lot of moves, which leads one to believe better than 50-50 that she'll run for president. This is cut one, Kirk. Here is Jeff Bezos responding to AOC just a day or so ago, saying you can't make $1 billion legally. Cut one. All right. Look, not exactly, the most beloved billionaire out there, but a guy who created a service that Americans clearly want. We want those boxes at the door. We want to see those trucks coming up. You only have a toothbrush in there. We want them at the door, though. So Bezos, wildly successful with that. And he is, I don't think he's as wealthy as, he's third or fourth in the world. He's not Elon Musk at this point, who's created things that people did want and may want even more in the future. All righty, 855-839-1210. You get on board. Who sets the metric here, I think, is his point. Of $1 billion, $100 million. Bernie Sanders has 3 houses, fabulous houses. So what? How does he get to set the metric on this? It is endless with this, with income inequality on people that are living very well. They don't want to set a metric. They want to make it free-floating. They have landed, though, that the billion versus millionaires, say $500 million, it's better to just zone in on the billionaires. That gives more punch to this. And that's what you'll run on. That's what you'll talk about. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Hit us with that all-time duo or combo. And again, with Jackson Dart, Jackson, the quarterback of the New York Giants. It has been stunning the last 48 hours and continuing into today. Breaking this down and people saying, well, what about all these NFL athletes that have been involved in one criminal activity after another? I mentioned the other day, what about the edge rusher, Nolan Smith, for the Philadelphia Eagles, at least according to 50 news reports out there, arrested for going around 137 miles an hour in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. And I would tell you, that guy is a bigger threat to me being in this area. I don't know if you think about it that way. I don't want anybody, no matter who they are, what kind of car they have, going. It's one thing to be speeding. You can say, well, everybody in the world has been speeding once. Yeah, sure. Even if it's a 70 and you're going 100. But then after that, this is 67 miles over the speed limit. That should be terrifying. It ought to be front page news. It ought to be asked, is that what he's doing here? What are the Eagles going to do about it? But no, in the fraudulent world of big-time sports, it's somebody who is conservative, or might be, and somebody who associates and has the honor of introducing President Trump. That is the divisive figure. That's what's divisive. Even though Harbaugh, the new head coach of the Giants, and the Mara family, at least some of them, have been seemingly friendly, I don't know if I'd use the word allied, with President Trump. So in 20 seconds, this quarterback shakes the universe of these people that just seethe with anything in the world to go after Trump on, particularly this Abdul Carter, who is just outrageous. You heard the clip. That's all that we're talking about. All right, coming up, more of your calls. And Graham Plattner, the guy running against Susan Collins in Maine, in one poll over the weekend was up 7 points. He declines to apologize for celebrating the video of an American soldier that he knew being shot. You talk about a loose cannon. The Democrats don't care. They're going to get this guy over the finish line. That's Graham Plattner. That's next here with Dom on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Dr. Anthony Fauci. 6 years later, millions of people are dead, trillions of dollars were spent, our civil liberties were shredded by mandates and lockdowns. The man at the center of it all has never faced a single consequence. He's a doctor. He only wants to do what's best for you. Doctors have egos. Doctors like to make a lot of money. And when you've been in charge of whatever you've been in charge of going back almost 4 decades, you start to walk around like your you-know-what doesn't stink, and anybody that questions you is beneath you. Remember the arrogance of this guy?
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Host. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethost.com/terms.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and the world's #1 expandable hose has gone ballistic. The brand new Pocket Hose Ballistic is here, and it's the hose I reach for every time. This brand new anti-burst sleeve uses an extraordinary new liquid crystal polymer used in bulletproof vests, tough enough to handle anything your outdoor tasks throw its way. And that's not all. The Pocket Hose Ballistic comes with even more upgrades like thicker washers that resist leaks and an enhanced UV coating so your hose looks brand new year after year. What could be better than that? How about not one, but 2 free gifts with your purchase? For a limited time, when you purchase a new Pocket Hose Ballistic, you'll get a free 360-degree rotating pocket pivot and a free thumb drive nozzle. Just text SUMMER to 64,000. That's SUMMER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. That's SUMMER to 64,000.
D&K Appliances is a family-owned and operated business for 3 generations located in Newtown Square and Flowertown. D&K Appliances offers one-stop shopping, providing delivery, installation, and service of top brands like GE, Thermador, Wolf, Bosch, Speed Queen, KitchenAid, and Whirlpool for your kitchen or laundry. D&K Appliance Sales Associates are industry experts, supporting customers every step of the way. Visit D&K Appliances, the dependable difference. Newtown Square and Flowertown showrooms, or visit dkappliances.com.
Find your dream ride with an auto loan from American Heritage Credit Union. We're proud to offer loans on both new and used vehicles with low monthly payments and flexible terms up to 84 months, as well as auto lease buyout options. Celebrating 250 years of beauty across America. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/auto to get started. Insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender. Not a member? Join today.
You can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
It is Dom time. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for being part of this Memorial Day. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. So this Graham Plattner guy, the guy with the Nazi imagery tattoo, the oyster baron up there in Maine running against Susan Collins, he was asked today about, in 2019, he mused at a video of PFC Ted Daniels engaging in a firefight with the Taliban in 2012 never gets old. Dumb blank, at least his stupidity and etc. are making poor marksmanship by the Taliban is the only reason that he made it home. He managed every possible mistake in doing this. When asked about this, said, Daniels, the guy who was shot, I don't know if I held it together, but I tried, he told the Washington Post. I put my blank on the line for other guys. I still function even though I was scared to death. So Fox Digital caught up with Plattner and asked him about the comments, and he said, no, I still stand by that. Happy Memorial Day. This guy, even for the Democrats to push over the finish line, but as more and more of his musings over the years, this maniac come out, he's not going to make it against Susan Collins. So nice play by Democrats in coming up with this, but the Sanders of the world and others are there in Maine pushing this forward. I would be utterly surprised, even at this point in time, if we don't hold the Senate. The House, though, is going to come down to a dogfight. And I would take, if there's any betting line out, Kalshi or something like that, one side or another will be under 5 seats who has control when it's all said and done. So you can imagine what's going to go on here. 855-839-1210 gets you on board. Get in. And when we get back, full complement tomorrow after Memorial Day, I predict this story with the New York Giants quarterback is going to get even bigger. I haven't seen Trump, I'm looking as we speak, weigh in on this, but he will, and then we'll be off to the races. It is just stunning, though, to see how bad the world of big-time sports is. Now, if you missed it this week, this will be cut 3. we ran a series of people speaking at commencements. I played you Wozniak today, right? Remember, giant in the field of technology, talking about we've looked to create brains for 9 years, and we were never able to do it. But you have one. You have AI. You're the one with the brain, not AI. I read you the Pope today with his encyclical wanting to disarm AI. Here is Arizona Community College relying on AI to run its commencement ceremony. Now, why do you do? Well, pronunciation of the names. First of all, there was I put it up on Twitter too at DomShow1210 at DomShow1210. This commencement, I'm trying to remember the state. I think it was high school too. This was a driving rainstorm. I mean, a driving rainstorm for a long period of time. And instead of moving indoors, whatever the backup, these maniacs continue to hand out diplomas and continue to have people sit in this driving rainstorm and an entire graduating class go through the line and get their diplomas. I'm not saying it was raining a little bit. Driving rainstorm during the entire period of time. Here is the Arizona Community College, and you hear the Presidente, once it fails, saying, oh, well, essentially, cut 3.
Graduates, everyone who is standing, here's what's happening. We're using a new AI system as our reader. So that is a lesson learned for us. What we were able to do, though, is each of you were able to walk the stage and get a picture, which is what I would hope would be the most meaningful. So I'm going to have to disappoint many of you. We will not be able to walk the stage a second time in order to have the name on the screen. You've handed over your cards, so we won't be able to do that. I am so sorry. There's plenty of opportunities, I hope, to take some really good pictures and to celebrate you with your loved ones as well. Yeah.
Are we going to do the rest?
Yeah. So I'll go let you do that. Okay.
All right.
One more round of applause for our graduates.
Can you imagine, once again, when they admit it's AI again, they couldn't, look, you do what you humanly possible with the names. AI is going to do better, though, in doing this. It is endless what I see right in front of me. And I just have hopes that Republicans will seize on this. A place like Chester County. These people are enraged. They do not want these data centers. In one poll that I've seen, people would rather have a nuclear power plant somewhat nearby than an AI processing plant. Misinformation. We're going to cure cancer with this. Well, you live next door to it. Let's put it where these people want it. The amount of water, the amount of electricity drained that's involved with this is enormous. So what's going to happen? I can't tell you. All I can say is in a lot of these places, in Chester County particularly, they put in a moratorium of 180 days so that they can be studying this. No, they're not studying anything. They just hope the flack dies down. Just like in Jersey, I'm still waiting to see these people that voted for Mikey Sherrill, affordable housing. As I understand it, in the one community, the Medford, I think it was a little over 100. They'd have to put in 700 houses to make it so they can make the 100 affordable. And developers will call the tune. So why did Medford and Medford Lakes vote for Mikey Sherrill? They go nuts then at their town hall, their council meetings. Every one of these, you see it. Once again, trying to figure that election out. Look, if he had lost by a point or two, I could rest easy with that. I'd still be mad, but okay. But sitting there on election night at around 8:08, 8:09, and nationally they're calling the election for Mikey Sherrill, it's like, you got to be kidding me. In what universe is that possible? Okay, phone lines are 855-839-1210. You can get in. Hit us with that all-time combo, that all-time duo, real or fictional. It doesn't matter. This is a very much a combo day where people both remember and also celebrate. And I think that's perfectly normal and natural. By the way, this Arizona Community College, too, relying on this. It's at every level. We have people that feel they're insulated from the downside of AI, so they're just going to pontificate. You hear, a lesson learned. Well, what's the lesson learned, lady? Are you not going to do AI the next time? Couldn't somebody jump in there while this was going on? Don't you have a list of the names? Yeah, but somebody might mispronounce. Oh, my God. All right, so what? Isn't that better than telling people, no, we're not going to do the name thing? You know, AI, yada, yada, yada. We're being paid a lot of money, but we rely on AI. What else will AI be blamed for when things go wrong? 855-839-1210.
At least we get a little warmer today for Memorial Day. It gets up to 73. The morning rain should leave, just clouds later. We'll get warmer tomorrow. It'll get up to 80 with some high clouds. More sun and high clouds on Wednesday with a high of 79.
Memorial Day is a special day and a sacred day in America when we remember those who died while serving in our country's armed forces. I'm Joanne Small-Canella of the Crash Proof Retirement Show. On behalf of my co-host Tracy Stillman and the entire Crash Proof Retirement team, we join all Americans this weekend in paying tribute and honoring those men and women of the United States military who demonstrated extreme bravery and valor in making the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our freedom. On this Memorial Day weekend, we ask that you take a moment and remember those fallen soldiers who showed us the courage needed to persevere in the face of overwhelming obstacles. America is great today because of their fearlessness and their selflessness. All Americans should be unified today in our thanks, our respect, and our admiration. Be safe this weekend, and God bless America.
There's one box that you'd run back into your burning house to grab. It's the box filled with your videotapes, film reels, and photos. Those sentimental, meaningful, irreplaceable moments. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago so that we could help families save their memories from being destroyed by floods or fires.
And it's not just natural disasters, Adam. Every day, videotapes and photos are slowly fading away, decaying, neglected in closets and attics.
Digitizing your old media stops fading, and preserving those recordings means they are safe forever. It's like magic, converting your shoebox of memories into digital files, ready to watch and share.
It's the only way to ensure your legacy is safe for generations. That's why over 1 million families have already trusted Legacy Box. Legacy Box is simple and easy, it works, and is safe. We'd love to preserve your family's collection. Don't wait, the risk is too great.
Visit legacybox.com/radio to save 50%. That's legacybox.com/radio to get started and save. legacybox.com/radio.
See Joe Conklin at Parks Casino at the City Rhythm Orchestra Thursday, June 18th in a Salute to Summer concert. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com! Hi!
When the doctor informed me that I had to be transplanted, I froze. I was in shock.
Mr. Gatling was on dialysis. He had end-stage kidney failure. Transplants are some of the most complex procedures in medicine.
I received a kidney transplant at Virtual Health.
We are the only transplant center in South Jersey.
I can stay in my own backyard. I thank them for keeping me alive.
Virtual Health, the only transplant center in South Jersey. Here for good. Learn more at virtua.org.
Weather sponsored by H&K Group Incorporated.
Start your new career with H&K Group Incorporated. H&K Group wants to offer you the opportunity to be part of the industry leader. 80 locations across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Visit hkgroup.com and apply today. H&K is an equal opportunity employer.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
This is Dom, the Dom Giordano Show. Thanks to Kirk and Jared today on a holiday being in there. And your calls, and thanks for listening. Noon until 3, Monday through Friday, 855-839-1210. So, Brian Fitzpatrick, we played you a cut out there in Bucks County today. The other night, Josh Shapiro, smart political move, was essentially kicking off the campaign in Bucks County, but so goes Bucks County, so goes Pennsylvania, that kind of thing. It's a bellwether. And he mainly made his campaign against President Trump, the cruelty, the chaos, right? And Shapiro described Congress as a group of weak sycophants. But he did not, with Bob Harvey standing there, the Democrat candidate out there in Bucks County, he did not criticize during his speech his opponent, meaning Brian Fitzpatrick. Several publications are reporting that Fitzpatrick has reportedly invited Josh Shapiro to his June wedding. Asked if Shapiro would be attending, aides to the governor with bemused smiles said they didn't know. Bucks County Commissioner Bob Harvey, who won the right to challenge Fitzpatrick, was more critical of the county's current congressman on the stage. Harvey said it's easy to blame Donald Trump for the county's troubles. It's been 10 years of Brian Fitzpatrick. It's time for him to go. So you see with this guy, and I don't know how Stacey Garrity puts up with this. We know how critical Bucks County is. That he's enamored, Fitzpatrick, with the Washington crowd, with the punch bowl people. They're the ones that got him to say he's an independent. He has to pretend to be a Republican because of the Republican primary. It's closed. And also how he thinks Josh Shapiro should run for president and apparently thinks he'll win the governor's office. It is just endless. I mean, we realize what we're up against with Josh Shapiro here, and so does Stacey Garrity. We realize that this guy has the sycophants in the media who are still letting him live. Look, I commended the way that he did it and how he showed the public he was doing it, his urgency in getting 95 open. Yes, I would commend any governor that did that. But other than that, what is it that Shapiro has delivered on? What is it that he's done that would be so glittering? And when you look at his positions, he is one of the most abortion extremists, every day telling us he has our back to get abortions. He is in favor of boys in girls' sports. He is someone so ruthless that even the Kamala Harris campaign couldn't deal with, even though making him the VP choice might have given them Pennsylvania. I think it's a reasonable assertion it could have. They're willing to tag in Tim Walz. Just think about this, because this guy so difficult to deal with. That is as bad as it gets. It really is. Yet, this bromance that goes on here with Fitzpatrick and Shapiro, so I can't imagine the political meetings going on here about Shapiro and whether he'll go to Brian Fitzpatrick's wedding. It makes him appear to be more independent. He's a moderate. It does throw Bob Harvey under the bus, but, you know, Bob, what are you going to do? But isn't it amazing you travel all the way to Bucks County, the major race there, other than the governor's race, which is statewide, is Bob Harv-de-Grasse Harvey, and you don't mention his opponent by name and call him out for whatever you think he's deficient in, and that's why your guy, Bob Harvey, should be the new congressman essentially from Bucks County. It is stunning to me what we have to deal with when it comes to Fitzpatrick here. But the Garrity campaign, we all know it. They have to get here more in southeastern Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area, even into Philadelphia. And Alante McCauley will help them with that, etc. By the way, though, this year is going to be a spectacular day at Mulligan's, Tom Giordano Day in Wildwood. You've heard us talk about it. You hear it on the air. It's a blast. Hundreds of people in there around different things, meeting the people you hear on the air. Johnny, nobody a better host. The fun that we've had, the people that we've had there, Kelsey Grammer, that visit, it goes on. So I know Scott Rutter will be there, our buddy here on Memorial Day, who led the charge at captured Baghdad Airport and has a book out about the military and the Iraq War and the price to be paid. He'll be signing books, and we hope Scott Presler is going to be able to make that date. We're hoping on that, on his brand new book. And Scott should be with us 2 o'clock tomorrow to update us on Texas and a couple of other things that he's involved in. And then, of course, Alante McCauley in running to be the person of the year, the local person of the year, along with some others. It is just the most fun of anything I do all year long. Thanks to Johnny Z at Mulligan's and his wife. It's the Summer White House. And if you haven't gotten the shirts, you're headed to Wildwood before then. Make sure you stop in over at Hildreth Avenue and get your shirt and be ready to go. All right. Let's go to Joe in Columbus on Talk Radio 1210. And, Joe, I'm so glad you called today because Ro is very sorrowful. She didn't see you there and wanted to say hello and acknowledge you and your son and made sure she made me write it down on my show sheet even. Is Joe there?
Yes, sir.
I think you have the wrong Joe.
Oh, I thought this was Joe from Columbus.
Oh, this is Joe from Bordentown.
Sorry, that was my fault.
Okay,
Joe
Joe,
from
how are you?
Columbus.
Good afternoon. What's yours today, Joe?
Mine is Erwin Rommel versus Bernard Montgomery in North Africa during World War II.
Okay, Joe. Thank you. Thanks very much. We'll take notice of that one. Okay. 855-839-1210. You get on board. Still got some time before we declare a winner today. Put your name into the hat. And, of course, at the end of the week, the grand prize ready to go. Great event, though, at the Farley Plaza. Thanks to Pete of Chicky and Pete's, paying the tolls. And I just find it curious. I get the no toll booths now, but those bridges across, if you've headed to the shore or you're headed now, you'll see them. They are toll readers in case people somehow or another get on at a different point than where the original toll reading was. It all works. And no more people taking tolls. You either have Easy Pass. Now, the guy that we had on said it's up to 90% of people had Easy Pass. I was told at one point it wasn't that high. That's good because it's very convenient. But these toll readers just look like these little bridges in the middle of the Pine Barrens kind of. But they're there to capture all the entrances, etc. So it's always a fabulous event. Even with the weather, it was. And Chicky and Pete's does great community work, stuff like that all year long. You heard them on with me. And they're particularly pro-veterans and the military and the service people in their family. All righty, 855-839-1210. Hit us with that all-time combo or duo today on Memorial Day. We'll have more tomorrow, I'm sure. By the way, I gave you the Colbert numbers, right? And maybe you didn't hear it today. In context, Colbert had a little bit over 6 million people that saw the finale of Colbert. Biggest number he's had in, I don't know if that's ever or not. Letterman, who handed off the show to Colbert, had 13.5 million, his finale. And Johnny Carson, 55 million people watched the last Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Now, look, I realize it's back in the day. I don't remember the exact date the Tonight Show with Carson went off. But even with more options today, doesn't it tell you something? I haven't seen this Byron Allen yet, the first night or whatever. I haven't watched it, but they allege they're just going to do comedy. It's different comedians doing comedy. I'm praying it does better, even by a little bit, than Colbert and certainly Jimmy Kimmel. We'll see. I'm sure the first week or so we'll start to see the media if it doesn't. Aha, we told you. but it is stunning, the numbers I gave you on Friday. 200 people work to put together the Colbert Show. 200 people it takes. My God. Gutfeld has like 6 or 7 people, and Gutfeld beats it. It's stunning to me to see that. Well, one's on at 10. Oh, stop it already. And the Tonight Show lost, the Colbert Late Show, $40 million last year. How is that even possible to sustain that? It's not. And that, more than anything, is why Colbert's not there. And seeing people like Jon Stewart say, isn't it awful, the president can't take a joke. When did these guys ever joke about President Obama? It just, I realize the difficulty. You're scared to death because of race and the race card that'll be played. But you didn't joke about Joe Biden either. And it was obviously right in front. He's always been a doofus. No, it's just outright bias. The guest, the jokes. It's excessive, the number of people that work there to produce what? That's why it's gone. All righty, 855-839-1210. Grab a line with Dom on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Just to point out how great this show is, Dawn Stensland, Greg Stocker, everybody involved. We are crushing it in the YouTube game.
Thank you for making us the #1 viewed news talk show in Odyssey.
And if you ever miss the show, you can always get the podcast on iTunes, where we have a 4.9 out of 5. Vicky Herz, Herz, says, the only podcast that truly feels like a family, especially when you watch on YouTube.
Aww.
They tell the truth, they debate.
And we fight.
And most of all, they start at 6 a.m.
Wow.
Thankfully, with the podcast, I can listen anytime.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Now we're moving into summer, and it's time we find out how brutal the winter weather was to our home. Hey, it's Rich Izzioli. If you're looking for a contractor that can help you with repairs during this time, or maybe you want to get a jump on those renovations, go with my guys, Emmons. They deliver protection, peace of mind, and true craftsmanship. That's why Emmons has always been my go-to contractor for over 10 years in 2 different homes. And they even just remodeled our kids' bathroom. Plus, you're going to get American-made products, American-made roofing products to lifetime warranted Owens Corning roofs built to handle severe weather, siding that elevates and insulates your home, and made in America, windows and doors that blend style and performance, made in America. Emmons has you covered every step of the way. So go to emmonsroofing.com, upgrade your home with confidence, make sure you tell them I sent you, and always go with the company that I go with because I trust them, and they've delivered for me each and every time in 2 different homes. That's Emmons Roofing, emmonsroofing.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Helping your inner circle prepare for emergencies can start in many ways. Put together an emergency kit with WipeWall. Create a family communication plan with your tita. Remind Bai to keep a backup battery charged. It all starts with a simple step, telling those you care about to be ready for the worst. So start a conversation and plan for emergencies together. Get more tips at ready.gov/start. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet?
Not yet.
Do it today.
Okay.
At 1210 WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, that's exactly right. Every day at this time, we get rapid fire. 855-839-1210. Hit us with that all-time combo or duo. Today is a day where I think America both remembers and then also celebrates. Get your name into the hat. I think we do have Joe of Columbus now. Hey, Joe, good afternoon. Welcome in.
Good afternoon, Dom. And it's good to talk to you today.
Maybe put it on the show sheet. She walked by. I don't know, she was headed inside and didn't say hello, etc. Remembers you and your son. And I have written it on my wrist. You know how it is. She's going to make sure I tell you.
Boy, you take notes like nobody I've ever seen in a college conference room. Lecture hall, rather. No, but I did. I waved to Ro, and she waved back when she got there.
Okay.
I think she was trying to escape with the strawberries before anybody else swiped them.
Yeah, it was a cane mutiny we were having there. Strawberries, yeah.
And one of our dear chatters, she will remain nameless. She's texted me the whole time saying, "Grab the strawberries, grab the straw." I said, "No, they're for Ro." Darn it.
Nice. Very nice.
Don, my son, and that was great. That was a really fun day. Even though you put me on the spot with Ike Reese, I didn't know what was going to become of that, but that was a nice touch too. And my kid got a kick out of it when I told him the story.
So, Joe, what's
you
your
still
side?
there?
Yes.
My side is the evolution of Mickey and Minnie Mouse. If you ever watched them in the the old black and white cartoons, they were paupers. And then they became, the hi-hat, top hat crew. And I thought it always paralleled Walt Disney starting off rough and becoming the Walt Disney he became. I always thought Mickey and Minnie paralleled Walt Disney and his wife.
Yeah, that's a subtle reminder of it. Thank you. Thanks, Joe, very much. Let's go to Steve in South Philly. Hey, Steve, what's yours? Do we have Steve? Steve, are you there? All right, Steve had Sonny and Cher, I believe. Okay, I think today we've had some really good answers. Holiday day, yeah, lower volume. That's okay. Your name goes into the hat just as if it were another day. Jarrett, what did you have?
I liked, I'm going to go Minnie and Mickey. Recency bias maybe, but I think that's actually was the best answer. I'm going to go with that one.
Okay, Joe of Columbus then. All right, Kirk, how about yours?
I may be biased as well for Ro. I'm going to go I'm doing with Zeno's with the sauce and gravy.
Sauce and gravy, and that was from Zeno's.
Zeno's. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was a very clever answer. I
Yep.
also like the Blue Cities in Crime. Let's go with Zeno's.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
put Zeno's
You got it.
into the hat today, and we'll pick it up tomorrow. We're always interested in getting new side questions. In fact, I just wrote one down, and I'll give you the process. Then I process it, talk with Henry, etc. We were kidding about the strawberries. Remember in the Cane Mutiny, Humphrey Bogart, strawberries. Maybe an object in a film that was the center of the film. And I think there's that was the turning point thing in there's quite a few props or an object in a film that triggers something about the person or triggers some kind of outcome. That's how we do it. But if you ever have one, at Dom Show 1210, you can hit me with that there. Let me know what you're thinking on Twitter. Tomorrow, Henry back, Kirk back. Thanks to Jarrett pinch hitting today. And the takeaway from today, and I'm telling you, once people come out of the Memorial Day, this is not going away with this quarterback of the Giants, because this is an example of what pro sports have become. That publicly they would be going after a guy simply because. I want to play one more time, Kirk. This is cut 11. This is Jackson Dart, their starting quarterback, who's pretty good. He's dynamic. He's going to get hurt a lot, given what he does. He was asked to announce the President of the United States in New York. And he comes out. It's only 90 seconds, and most of it is just music, him coming out, then Trump coming out later. And he tries to get a chant going, "Go Big Blue," for the Giants, which are, I know Harbaugh's coming there. If Harbaugh can get 7 wins this year, I'll be shocked. Listen to what he did, and then the reaction to this shows you that Trump derangement syndrome is just mind-boggling, and it's not just directed toward Trump. It's directed toward anybody that just thinks, hey, it's a president of the United States. You have a chance to announce him. Why would you not do that? Here's how it sounded.
Please welcome starting quarterback of the New York Giants, Jackson Dart.
Yeah. Big Blue Nation, it's a pleasure to be here. I got to start this off with a Go Big Blue. I'd love it if y'all would follow with me. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue. What an honor, what a privilege it is to be here. And without further ado, I'm grateful, I'm honored, I'm pleasured to introduce the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump.
All right, so that's the entire gist of it. That's what we're dealing with. That is, look, he's there, obviously asked to do that, big, and you know, you're the quarterback, New York Giants, New York City. Stephen A. Smith probably the worst today because this continues. I thought it would die down maybe a hair today. No, even though it's Memorial Day. And says, well, you have to realize as the quarterback of the New York Giants, who is it that just won in New York overwhelmingly? Mayor Zoran Mondani. And he is the polar opposite of President Trump. So should you not take into account teammates and Giants fans because so many of these people voted for Mondani? Think about this now. This is what it comes down to, the double standard here, the craziness of this, and Stephen A. Smith allegedly running for president maybe, with this warped add-on here on top of any number of these Giants players and others who jumped into it. And even here locally, there's quite a Twitter feud going on. I'll see tomorrow if it comes out a little bit more. I'm just teasing that it could. But just a ridiculous overreaction to this. And we have another guy firing at the White House when this happened with President Trump in the White House. The Secret Service shot him, stopped him, and he's dead. Third time in a month or under a month that shots have been fired in the vicinity of President Trump. It is remarkable stuff. Thanks for listening today, though. Any day like this, Memorial Day, we do remember. And tomorrow, we'll be with you, ready to go, noon until 3. Thanks to Kirk and thanks to Jarrett.
Thank you.
The afternoon show is next. Follow me on Twitter at DomShow1210, at DomShow1210. Dom Giordano on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
It's that time of year to address some of those nagging projects around the house you've been putting off. If replacing your home's old, drafty windows and doors is on your to-do list, then you need to call my good friends at Guida Door and Window. And lowered monthly energy bills while having the luxury of paying off your project interest-free for up to 36 months. This offer is for a limited time only. Restrictions apply. For full